boots. Then they pack the van and take everything they need off to the stadium, ready for game day. They don't get a lot of help when they get in the ground too. Kitmen are the ones unloading a full squad's worth of boots, kit, medical bags, and all the bits the players and coaches will need between the start of the day and switching off the floodlights at the end of the day. First thing they do is organise each player's kit, make it easily accessible in order to avoid any dramas on match day. Once everything's in the right place, it's into the dressing room, lay everything out, put players' nameplates on the right locker, all the things you don't even think about on a match day. Once the players arrive, if anything needs doing, they call the kitman. In the meantime, it's on the kitman to help set up for the warm-up. The coaches don't always have time to lay out all the cones and put the balls in those weird triangle piles you see. As the warm-up is underway, the kitman then becomes a glorified ball boy, chasing stray shots and passes, making sure they aren't lost in the crowds. They eventually do the tidying up too, getting everything off the pitch before kick-off and assist the ground staff with any last-minute things they may need. After that, it's last call for the players. Then, at kick-off, they can breathe a sigh of relief for a few minutes, sit back and watch the game, enjoy the fruits of their labour. At half-time, check everyone's okay and everything's as it should be, and then wait for full-time. Once the final whistle's gone, it's time to pack everything down, get the stuff that needs to be washed in the laundry, pack up the van, back to the training ground, and ready to do it again next week. Of course, each club differs, and different staff members will have different responsibilities, but we pay tribute to all of those who do it, whether it's the glitz and glamour of the Premier League or a cold Tuesday night in Stoke.
Good morning, welcome along to the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on TalkSport. It's Shebahn Aherne alongside former Chelsea and Republic of Ireland striker Tony Cascarino.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. You look dapper today. Got all dressed up for the racecourse. Yes, we're live from Newbury Racecourse today. Coming up for you here on the show, Manchester City are aiming to get their title charge back on track as they host Leeds.
Our fans make the effort to come to see us. If you do what you have to do, they are there. We have to control ourselves, playing better and do it better.
We'll have all of the updates for you on that one on GameDay Live. We've also got a huge game at 8 o'clock tonight. Spurs host Fulham, looking to bounce back in the Premier League from their North London derby, humbling last weekend.
At the minute, Thomas Frank, he is really surprising. I think everyone likes him. When he was at Brentford, he was a really, really likeable manager, but he's just been moving a little bit different in his last couple of weeks with some of his comments. What he needs to do is get performances and get results on the board.
Spurs versus Fulham live for you here on TalkSport 8 o'clock tonight. And here at Newbury Races for Coral Gold Cup Day, looking ahead to a huge day of racing.
Shebahn has nothing more to offer. Can Do Kid dribble out, idling in front, but Can Do Kid for Harry Cobden and Paul Nichols won the Coral Gold Cup.
It's going to be huge. Several races here today, 7 in total. A massive day of racing, including the Coral Gold Cup. That's at 2:55 this afternoon. We're going to be joined by the great and the good from the racing world, and plenty of big football guests for you too as we build up to the sport this weekend. You're listening to the Weekend Sports Breakfast live here from the Ribchester Room at the stunning Newbury Racecourse. Good morning. And breathe. Good morning, Tony. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good.
How's your week been?
Well, loads of Champions League football was normal. Yeah, so that was good. I'm sort of getting over a bit last night because I phoned down and complained at the hotel that
what are you complaining about?
the fire alarm kept going off.
Oh, no.
Between 10 and 11 last night.
When you said the alarm was going off, I thought you meant your mobile phone. I thought you
No, it was the fire alarm. So I phoned down and asked them, when is that going to stop? Not, is there a problem? Because it had gone off about, I don't know, about 6 or 7 times, maybe more, in the space of 10, 15 minutes.
Somebody just opening the wrong door.
Yeah, and you do the, I'm getting up at 4 in the morning. Okay, when's this going to stop?
That's why you look shattered.
No, I feel okay. But it was nice. We had a good night. We had a meal out. You couldn't come down to this morning, but...
Yeah, I drove down early.
What time did you leave?
Left the house at 3:30.
Oh, that ain't bad.
Yeah, no, it was fine.
Yeah,
sailed down the road.
No road closures then.
I actually don't mind it. You know, I could be a truck driver. I could do it. That's a job I could do nicely. Stick on a podcast, stick on the radio. I listen to the TalkSport Daily podcast and sail down the road.
Would you pick up any hitchhikers then?
No, God, no. You never know.
I picked up a hitchhiker years and years ago when I was at Gillingham on the M2.
Did you?
I picked up a random guy. And it's a long story, but he ended up staying at my house.
No, see, you've taken it too far.
Yeah, honestly.
What?
He did. Yeah, I ended up... it's a long story, but I ended up... Because he was at University of Canterbury.
Okay.
So, and he didn't have anywhere to stay, and I just said, we can stay at mine if you want. We'd chatted a lot in the car in between, and then... I remember thinking, that's a bit of a crazy thing to do, but I was a really naive... I mean, I'm quite naive anyway.
How old were you then?
I would have been about 23, 24.
See, if I'm your mum, I'd be like, Tony!
I said you can stay the night.
But then it's nice to trust some people, but you know, it's such trusting thing to do. You're clearly a kind person.
Yeah, I don't know. It all came about very quickly because we were in the car because he wanted to go to London and I was coming back, so I lived in London at the time, even though I travelled from Gillingham. Yeah. And we chatted, and he said he couldn't find somewhere to stay. And no, we can stay at mine if you want tonight.
Did you see Declan Rice picked up a youngster the other day and drove him home?
Oh, right,
Rice,
yeah.
A young lad, he put
That's
it on
brilliant.
social media and he gave him a lift home. Isn't that amazing?
What did he say? I'm a Spurs fan.
Charged him
I
petrol
talked to you the whole way about how good Arsenal were against Spurs.
Wow. Listen, we'll get into all the details from the Champions League in the week. We are here at the Ribchester Room in Newbury Racecourse this morning. We're live with you until 10 o'clock. We've got a full day of racing. Are you staying for a little flutter?
Yes, I'm going to stay. Coral Gold Cup, yeah.
Daryl Jacob, former jockey, is going to be with us on the show today to give us some tips and look ahead to what's to come up today as well. Aside from a brilliant day of racing ahead, we've got an exciting weekend of Premier League action to come as well.
This has been one of the easiest 3 points that they've managed all season, Arsenal, and they've done it against their most fierce rivals.
Extremely painful to stand here after a bad performance. Can't talk away, don't want to talk away from that.
Thomas Frank's lost belief that we can win a game of football by going after a team.
Edge to the D, plays it square, Wilson!
And it's finally the breakthrough for Fulham. Fulham 1, Sunderland 0.
Back in the right track after the last performance that was not a standard that should be away from home.
Mateta picks it up inside the area, and he scored again.
Palace are a good side, and they play their system as well as anybody I've seen.
There are boos inside Old Trafford on the anniversary of Ruben Amorim's first year in charge. Manchester United are beaten by Everton.
The Manchester United revival is officially over.
The only place to be is with GameDay.
So the Premier League back for you this afternoon. Brentford take on Burnley. That's 3 o'clock. Man City take on Leeds also at 3 o'clock. Has a Sunderland against Bournemouth. 5:30 this evening. Everton face Newcastle. And 8 o'clock live for you here on TalkSport. Tottenham take on Fulham. Cass, let's start with Manchester City versus Leeds. City need to get back on track, don't they? I mean, a difficult week for them. They lost 2-0 to Leverkusen midweek. Pep made something like 10 changes. He says he's learned a lot from their midweek defeat.
My opinion on them, my standard on them is top. It's top. Nothing changed individual quality as a person, as a football player. They are really, really good players. I don't change 1 second. It's just I learned that I make a mistake. So I cannot put 10 players in a Champions League game all together. But they don't feel secure. They don't feel comfortable together.
Pep Guardiola there, taking responsibility. He has to. Were you surprised by the amount of changes?
No, Not at all. I mean, after the defeat at Newcastle last weekend, and then they faced Bayer Leverkusen, and there was a number of players he obviously wanted to get games out of, whether it's Rico Lewis, Oscar Bob, Reinders, Ant Newbury, many others, Nathan Aki. He gave them an opportunity to play, and they didn't play particularly well and lost the game. So, back-to-back defeats for Pep. They've had they've done an okay start. There's been times, but it's been all about Haaland. He's been the major difference for them. That if he doesn't score, you are scratching your head to see where goals are going to come from. If it isn't Haaland, I think Doku's a good player. He's dangerous, always wants to cause problems, but he decided to make changes, and with that, he's paid the price. But they're doing okay. And if you look at the group, the table. The table in the Champions League, City are still not too bad. They'll be okay, to get them to the next phase, I'm sure.
Yeah, in terms of the Premier League, they're sitting in third. Regarding those changes from the week, he said, I feel that the team played not to make mistakes. They didn't play to do something. So they played with that element of fear, maybe. Daniel Farker, they're against Leeds today. He's coming under a bit of pressure, isn't he, at Elland Road, sitting third bottom in the Premier League. Ahead of the game, he was asked how high his team's confidence is after dropping into the bottom three.
Yes, but we are really fully concentrated, fully focused, and I'm confident, and I'm also fully convinced. So, to be honest, myself and also the players, we were fully prepared for such a situation, that this would happen, because we also know for which club we are working, and there's always outside noise. Was in the past, was even in the past after our best season in history last season, and we fully expected that this would also happen during this season.
Daniel Farker there, 2 wins in 10 for him. How much pressure, Cass, is he under at the moment?
Well, he was under pressure to start the season. In some parts, people were expecting him that he might not even be a manager in the Premier League after getting promoted. They've had 3 defeats on the spin. The defeat against Villa was a weird one because Lucas Perry, the goalkeeper, I'm not sure how he gets beaten so easily for the winning goal. It's one of them, they call it the knuckleball, don't they? Where they try and hit it and a little bit of movement on it, and he's literally flat-footed, the keeper. But Leeds have got to be better, because I think Burnley have got more chance of staying up than Leeds, even though the table, Leeds are 18th for Burnley and 19th. There's only a point separating them. I think Leeds have got a lot, and they've got a real tough run of fixtures now.
Can they surprise City today, do you think? Away at the Etihad? Doubtful?
No, I'd be amazed if they got a result.
Okay.
I say they can, but I'd be amazed if they did.
Yeah, Man City take on Leeds. That's 3 o'clock this afternoon. All of the updates, as ever, here on Game Day Live on TalkSport. We're live at Newbury Racecourse. We're out and about today. Let the festivities begin, everyone. You're listening to the Weekend Breakfast here on TalkSport. Coming up next, we'll discuss Spurs. Morning.
Hello and welcome to TalkSport Goals. We're taking you through what should be another busy day of football.
Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology.
How would you get to that conclusion? That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
To the weekend breakfast here on TalkSport. We're live from Newbury Racecourse today. An excellent day of racing ahead. 7 brilliant races to look ahead to, all coming up for you on the weekend sports breakfast at Shebahn Aherne alongside former Republic of Ireland striker Tony Cascarino. Why are we playing North London forever? How do you feel about stadium tours?
What, going on one?
Yeah. Do you ever do stadium tours when you go abroad or whatever?
I was asked by Millwall to do someone a few years back, and I didn't want to do them.
Why not? There's cash to be made here, Cass.
No. It was I didn't feel like I wanted to do stadium tours. It was just not my thing.
Well,
so no.
Arsenal are doing them, and they're bringing in the Legends, the VIP Legend Experience tour of the Emirates. Lunch with Ray Parlour.
Oh right, okay.
I'm well up for that. David Seaman or Lee Dixon. There's also a similar VIP deal with Spurs and their stadium too, with Ozzy Ardiles, Gary Mabbutt and Clive Allen. That's 60 quid, whereas the Arsenal one's 355 quid.
Wow.
And Spurs have a trophy.
Well, I would suspect that, Arsenal will have a trophy by the end of this season, and probably a bigger one than Spurs has got in recent years.
It's looking very, very, very possible. These VIP stadium tours.
£350?
£355 for a VIP tour with Ray Parlour. And he gets the drinks in as well. Ray, he's really given like that. These stadium tours are massive. We need to get Cass out in one. Maybe around.
I think it's probably better paid than the Millwall one. Maybe
just slightly.
I think. Well, I know what that. I'm not going to say what it is, but it's honestly, it's about an eighth of it without mentioning the amount.
Okay.
I said I'll pay 50 quid not to do it.
Let's get you an agent. Looking at today's back pages for you, there's focus on Cole Palmer pushing to play, available to play tomorrow for Chelsea against Arsenal. We'll be building up to that game a little bit later on, but let's talk about this bad week it's been for Spurs. Humbled in the North London derby, Thomas Frank's side followed up with a 5-3 defeat to PSG in the Champions League midweek. They host Fulham today, having only won once at home in the Premier League all season. On the sports bar, former Spurs Jamie O'Hara suggested Spurs look like a side who have no belief whatsoever.
I don't know why we've gone away. It's like we've all of a sudden completely lost belief. Thomas Frank's lost belief that we can win a game of football by going after a team. Because at the start of the season, Man City, all right, we lost to PSG in the end, but it was a great performance. Start of the season, we were going after teams. We had energy. There was a bit of bite about us, a bit of steel in midfield. Now, it's like we've completely gone away from that, and we're just sitting on the edge of our box and hoping that we don't get beat. I mean, he's playing a dangerous game, Thomas Frank. He could get sacked.
Are they struggling at home so much, Cass?
I'd rather look at the bigger picture than what I witnessed in the last week. Was the way they tried to attempt to play the game against Arsenal at the Emirates, which was very defensive and sitting back and trying to deny Arsenal any space. And then a few days later, they're going to PSG and they're scoring 3 and they're quite open. So in 1 week, we see 2 completely different types of performance. And Jamie said there that, at PSG, a lot of it was good. Well, scoring 3 goals but conceding 5, and I'm not sure what Spurs are at the moment. And Thomas Frank's got a real problem with personnel that tick the boxes that what he wants. Mm-hmm. That's what I see. Because I'm not convinced even the likes of Richarlison, who's got a few goals of late, is a Thomas Frank player. I just don't see that. Moani coming in and get a couple, that was a really big thing for him because, I mean, his second goal was a terrific goal in the Parc des Princes in Paris. So there are some good things. I just don't know if he's even close to naming his first 11.
I mean, they've conceded 9 goals in the last 2 games, have Spurs. Yeah. But they are missing some key players as well. I mean, when is Kulusevski back? Players like that who are instantly going to impact his side. Does he just have to see that through, get to January, hope for some investment?
Well, I think there's a definite protecting the back four. I mean, Pauini has come in and I like him. I liked him at Fulham, and yes, he had his injuries at Bayern Munich, but I like him. They've got Sarr, that he's sort of, again, he could be an in and out player. I just think they haven't got the dynamism of what the sort of how Brentford were a team that always seemed to overachieve with certain positions, and their forward line was always about goals. You know, if you think of Mbeumo and Vizza and players like Ivan Toney that Thomas Frank has had, they always look they're going to hurt the opposition in some way, where Spurs don't at the minute.
Yeah, you're right, actually.
I think there's a huge amount of room for improvement in them, that's for sure. Whether we can do that, because as you lose games, pressure mounts and people will ask questions. At the moment, where are they? They're sitting at 9th in the Premier League.
The table.
It was in some ways, the PSG was... I thought, after the London derby, I thought that Thomas Frank wouldn't attempt to do that again in another game. Because that won't wash with Spurs fans.
I think it was Danny Kelly says sack him at half-time.
Yeah,
You'd have sacked him at
you
half-time.
won't get away with that. As a Spurs fan, will not accept their team. And I get it, that don't offer anything going forward, like adventurous, attacking, trying to cause problems. And in the London derby, they were just second best all over the pitch all game.
Tonight, it's against Fulham. Spurs take on Fulham live for you here on TalkSport, 8 o'clock kick-off. What's your expectations of this one?
Well, Fulham are a low-scoring team, but I like Josh King. Him and Eds leads the line. They clearly haven't got enough in forward areas. Their goal tally tells you that. Wilson comes in and tries to get on his left foot a lot. I think I was at the Fulham game last weekend, and I thought Fulham were the better team against Sunderland. Had a few chances, didn't take them. Kevin needs to be a better finisher, and that'll come, I'm sure, because you can see the lad's a talented boy. You know, you can see that he's a gifted. We played left wing, and I thought he always wants the ball. So I think Marco Silva's going to have some sort of money to spend, because it doesn't look a big squad to me, Fulham.
Yeah, it's live for you here, TalkSport tonight. Tottenham take on Fulham coming up for you later on in the show. Former Spurs defender Steven Caulker is going to be with us to discuss his former side. And here's what else is coming up for you on TalkSport today. As ever, after us, Max and Charlie are here bringing you the warm-up from 10 o'clock. That's all the way through until 1 p.m. And then it's the GOAT, Adrian Durham, bringing you Game Day Live, going around the grounds from the Premier League and the EFL. We've got 2 more live EFL matches, by the way, over on TalkSport 2. Download the TalkSport app. You can swipe across to TalkSport 2 for 2:30 Stoke take on Hull, followed by Coventry against Charlton at 3 o'clock. Sorry, Stoke Hull is at 12:30. Cov Charlton is at 3 o'clock. 5:30. It's the Game Day phone-in, taking your calls on all of the weekend's games. Make sure to really just get one in on Jamie O'Hara if you have to. 7:30, live and exclusive Premier League commentary. As we said, Spurs take on Fulham, and that is going to be live for you here, exclusive commentary from 8 o'clock, and then it's fight night at 10 o'clock. You've got a huge Saturday ahead. We're live at Newbury Racecourse today. 7 great races ahead. Also 2:55, the Coral Gold Cup to look forward to as well. Coming up next, we'll be diving into all of the racing action with former Grand National winning jockey Daryl Jacob. He's in the house, and he's with us next on the Weekend Breakfast on TalkSport. Good morning, how are you this Saturday? Welcome along to Newbury Racecourse. It's the Weekend Sports Breakfast here. Shebahn Aherne and former Chelsea striker Tony Cascarino. Some of your other headlines this weekend that you're waking up to. British Olympic gold medal winning hockey player Imran Sherwani has sadly passed away at the age of 63. He scored twice in the 1988 final as Great Britain defeated West Germany 3-1 in Seoul. Commentator Barry Davis famously saying, "Where were the Germans?" But frankly, who cares? Remember that very famous piece of commentary. Imran Sherwani has sadly passed away. In other news, Prem's Lav Plateta solo goal gave Oxford United a 2-1 victory over Ipswich Town last night, who missed the chance to go to second in the Championship. And Bournemouth will take the trip up north to Sunderland for a 3 o'clock kick-off today in the Prem. Cherry's captain Adam Smith spoke with our Cass and spoke about his high-flying teammate Antoine Semenyo.
He's the most humble lad I've met in football, to be honest. One of the nicest guys. No matter how well he's done, he's always stayed the same. But that's down to us as a group as well, you know.
Yeah.
And when new players come in, we settle them in well. We're all humble guys. We all work hard. We all want to improve. So that I think that is down to our squad. And yeah, looking after these young players and helping them along their way, you know. And because we do buy a lot of young players, we need to give them experience and let them know how we train. So yeah, there's not a bad person in the squad.
Bournemouth captain Adam Smith there. More from him later on in the show, Cass.
Yeah.
Did you manage to fire up a Zoom on your own midweek in the comfort of your own home and record an interview?
No, I came into the studio.
You did.
I was in London anyway, so I came in, yeah. Am I allowed to do that?
No, but you can do it from home, sitting in your pants if you wanted.
I wanted to go out in London.
Okay.
Okay, so
take in the sights.
I'll divert to the studio and then go, I've done that, and then I'll pop out.
Looking so busy, rocking up to work on a random day of the week. He doesn't just do the weekends. Like we say, more from Cherry's captain Adam Smith a little bit later on in the show. More on our website, by the way, TalkSport.com. And joining us now in the studio to look ahead to a massive day of racing on Coral Gold Cup Day, it's this man.
They go around the elbow. Sunny Hill Boy and Richie McClellan have got the lead over Seabass and Katie Walsh, Neptune Kalonge and Daryl Jacob. They've got another 150
Delighted to be joined by a man now who rode over 1,000 winners. He won the 2012 Grand National as well. Daryl Jacob is with us. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you very much for having me on. Yeah.
How does that feel, listening to the commentary?
Look, sure, it was magic. Like, for me, it was the one race that whenever I actually wanted to be a rugby player, a professional rugby player, and unfortunately I was a bit too small, a bit too big to be a jockey, but it was the one race that really, from when I got into horse racing, it was the one race that really stood out to me, and it was the year when I first started out. Papillon was being trained in Ireland by Ted Walsh, and I used to work for the late Desi Hughes, and he used to be trained on the Curragh where I used to ride out, and I just remember the whole the build up to the whole race. With Ruby riding him, Papillon local, an Irish horse coming over, and whenever he won it, then it was just, I was gripped on that race. And look, I've been very lucky. I got to ride in the race plenty of times. But
is there a massive difference, Darryl, like from obviously the Grand National to other national hump races?
Oh yeah, massively different. I mean, because obviously you got all the runners, the fences are completely different. You know, it's obviously changing now, and it has done since. So Neptune Clonge, whenever he won it, that was the last year that we had over the stake fences, where now is their sort of their plastic sort of fences, where they, you know, the easy fix fences. So the race has changed an awful lot, but you know, it's still the build up to it. You know, getting the horses there, getting yourself there, and the crowd. You know, the Aintree crowd is just fantastic.
Yeah, some special moments, and it's nice to hear you reliving all that, I suppose. But I can't stop thinking about you playing rugby. Like, wait,
you must have been a flying winger.
To be fair, I used to play scrum, half fly, half full back. Yeah, I was. My family was a big rugby family, and I loved. Rugby was my number one sport. Yeah.
So how did the transition then into
football?
Horse riding?
It was weird because, I wasn't one of the guys. I'd done a lot of hunting and all that when I was a kid, but I never ever see myself coming down to being a jockey down that route. And I was out hunting one day, and I was 14 at the time. That's how, like, I was quite late getting into the racing. And Darryl Deakin came up to me and he said, "I think you'd make a good jockey." I was like, I've never watched a horse race in my life, never mind. So anyway, the story kind of kept going for a couple of weeks, and I used to work for a guy, Jack Murphy, at the time of the weekends when I was off school. And he came to me, he said, "Look, you just go up and ride out a horse," because I had no interest really. And he said, "Look, just go and ride out a horse for him, and then if nothing else, it'll keep him quiet. He won't ask you again." So anyway, I went up, rode out one morning before we were going hunting to Darryl Deakin's, went up to gallop, and I got on the horse. I can remember like as if it happened yesterday. Got on the horse, put my irons up, and I'd never ridden short because I never had to because I was obviously hunting. Put my irons up, went up the gallop, thought nothing of it, and Darryl Deakin followed me up the gallop, came up the gallop, and his face was beaming, smile on his face. So he said, "Well, what did you think of that?" I was like, "Yeah, it was fine." "What do you mean it was fine?" I said, "Yeah, it was fine." Just go down the gallop and come back up again. So went down the gallop, came back up again. "Yeah, it's fine." And he was like, No. You've got to understand, this could be a career for you. So I was like, not so sure about that. But So anyway, we went hunting that day, and I was obviously only a kid, and loads of people came up to me that day at hunting, and they were like, "Oh, I hear you're going to be a jockey." I was like, where's everyone getting these notions from, kind of thing? So anyway, I carried on hunting in my own little world and had a great day's hunting. And then 4 days later, I was obviously doing the junior cert that year in school. 4 days later, Darryl Deakin and Jack Murphy, they were up with my mum and dad, and they were having the discussions, and it was sort of decided there and then I was going to go to the apprentice centre after doing the junior cert for transition year. And then, I've just been very, very lucky. Went there, enjoyed it, got sent out to late Desi Hughes. One of my best friends, the late Kieran Kelly, I lived with him. He took me under his wing, and he was the one who sent me to England. I literally had a week to tell my parents I was coming to England.
Right.
And I just fell in.
So what, is that digs? It's like you go and stay in digs and you just stay here, or is it a much bigger setup?
So when I came over to England, I went to Kieran Kelly, who worked for Des Hughes. Des Hughes' son Richard Hannon was stable jockey to Richard Hannon, at the time. So I came over for kind of 3 months to see if I could get a job over here to be a jockey, because in Ireland it was very difficult at the time. In Des Uses we must have had about eight different jockeys in the yard. So for me to get going, it was going to be very, very difficult because I was obviously young. And then from there, I came over. Kieran wanted me to look out for a good job while I was over here. And it was the boss, Robert and Sally Ulner, then. They were looking for an amateur at the time. So I went down to them. And basically, they started my career. So they were like my mum and dad in England, and my boss.
Funny how things work out, eh?
So, and I've just been, to be honest with you, I've had the best people have guided me for the last 24 years, people that have wanted me to do well, you know, and obviously my boss now, Simon Munir and Isaac Swade, I've been with them for 12 years, and you know, they've kind of taken over the role from the boss.
Newbury today. Gold Cup day. So tell us your feelings, because a big field. You're saying that you think it's a really high quality Gold Cup. Yeah,
it's one of the best Gold Cups we've had for a few years. Very, very competitive. I'm really looking forward to. You got so many horses in there. The changing man, first time cheek pieces on him. He had a really good run at Ascot the last time. My bosses, Simon Munir and Isaac Swade, we've got 2 runners in it. Blizzard of Oz, JJ rides him. Intense Raffles, who former Irish Grand National winner 2 years ago. He's up there at the top of the weights, but it's an absolute cracking race. Cracking race.
Yeah. Tell us about Willie Mullins, because you've ridden under him in the past. What makes him so special?
Unique.
Is he just
There's just no stone is unturned with him. He thinks about everything. You know, he has a lot, but he's got a great team around him as well, like David Casey, Ruby Walsh. You know, he's got a fantastic team, and you guys know yourself, being in football, you need a good team around you. Yes, he's the main man, but he's got an unbelievable team as well behind him that do the entries, the horses, you know, that people in the yard that do the feeding, the conditioning. You know, they've got a very, very good team of work riders as well, and jockeys. So it's a huge team effort, and they've got barn managers, and everything gets reported back up to the head, and then, you know, it kind of filters down again.
I mean, look, small margins in sport are there for everybody to see. You know, success happens when you get so much right, and Willie Mullins has certainly done that to racing, isn't it? It feels like every small margin you're mentioning, that's the difference of why he's been.
You bring a horse that comes 7th in the Scottish Champion Hurdle to Breeders' Cup winner. That takes some doing.
He must really go for it, that's for sure. Talk to us as well about, you know, the numbers in racing. You know, you spoke about the support you had as a youngster and almost being put into this path. Is it the same for jockeys now? Are they still being kind of sought out as young talent? And
I mean, every yard in the country now they've always got, or trying to get, you know, young jockeys coming through. They start out as stable as maybe amateurs. They come from the racing school, and it's all about, you know, trying to scout that talent. But it's getting harder for them, because over the last few years, I suppose we have a lot of racing in this country. We're racing. You know, whenever I was riding, you know, we're doing nearly 80,000 miles a year up and down the country. There's a lot of racing. It's 7 days a week. It starts in, you know, there's jump racing all year round now. The summer schedule is busy, but the main racing, jump racing, starts the second week in September, and it does not relent till the end of May. It's 7 days a week. We are pretty much racing. So, and at them meetings, there's, you know, nearly 3 or 4. I think there's 5 meetings today, jump racing. So we just probably haven't quite got the numbers, the horses' numbers in this country, because there's so much racing. So the numbers, the field sizes are a little bit smaller. So then it's harder then for the young jockeys to get rides because of the smaller fields. If they had bigger fields, obviously there'd be more spare rides, there'd be more opportunities. But look, we're always trying to see the next young person up and coming.
Yeah, we weren't going to go into the whole politics side of things, but it was positive news, wasn't it, from the budget, that the racing sector wouldn't be massively affected?
Yeah, no, it is positive. It's one step. Yeah. In a positive way. Look, I'm a positive person. I like to think of positive things, you know, every morning. When you get up, you got to go out. But that is a positive. But there's an awful lot of things left that need to be done in racing to get racing back up there to where it really should be. Because we're so lucky in racing that we've got some of the best owners in the world. We've got the best horses in the world. It's a brilliant sport. It's a brilliant day out. But we've got to keep the young. We've got to keep the kids coming through. We've got to keep the influx. We've got to keep people coming in racing, coming to races, having a day out. Whereas some of these tracks are, they're dwindling in numbers. And I think we need to keep we need to keep the younger generation. I do a lot with some of the young school kids, getting them, because there's a lack of an age difference coming into the sport, and we need the students and all that, get them involved in racing. So there's an awful lot to be done, but from this point of view, it's a positive. I'll let Simon Clare go into the more politics about that.
You've done a good enough job there for us, Darryl. You're staying with us for another wee while. Darryl Jacob is with us for the next wee while. We're going to get his tips ahead of the racing at Newbury today. Stay with us. This is the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on TalkSport. Good morning.
Hello and welcome to TalkSport Goals. We're taking you through what should be another busy day of football.
Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology.
How did you get to that conclusion?
That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
morning, how's it going? Welcome along to the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on TalkSport. It's me, Shebahn Aherne, alongside former Celtic striker Tony Cascarino. Your news headlines today: Oxford United beat Ipswich 2-1 to move out of the relegation zone. Kieran McKenna's side missed the chance to go second in the Championship. Everton will unveil a memorial talking bench for the late Gary Speed outside Hill Dickinson Stadium this afternoon. That's to commemorate the 14th anniversary of his passing. Can you believe that, Cass? 14
I know,
years.
it sounds amazing.
Yeah,
I was working at TalkSport the day it happened.
Oh, gosh,
and,
yeah.
You know, when the news broke about Gary. So, very sad. Now, when you said 14 years, I thought, wow, it doesn't feel nowhere near that long ago.
Yeah, talking benches are now all part of this initiative across the UK to encourage conversation, tackle loneliness and isolation, and signpost people to mental health support. That's so strange reading that now, because we were just talking there, weren't we, with Daryl Jacob about you know, conversations and the kids now. And even last night we went out for dinner, my son's sitting watching his screen and I'm like, put that down, talk to us. And then you're like, oh, you know, but talking is such a big thing, and you think it's going to be worse for our generation if they can't learn conversation at a young age.
Yeah, no, it's for me, it's a massive issue. And you look at, I love, again, if you're outdoor, you're in the fresh air, it's so much better for you mentally rather than being stuck looking at four walls. But look, that's the way, unfortunately, things is going.
Looks quite bleak outside at the moment, though, Dan.
Hey, that's proper national weather, that is. Hey, don't ditch the rain, mate. We need it, so don't worry about that. That ground, the ground here at Newbury, and to be fair, George and his team, they've done a fantastic job, because they've struggled here with the water, and then a couple of chases earlier on. The ground was quite quick. And they've done a fantastic job with the ground here today, and that rain that we're getting last night and into today is proper welcome for a big meeting here today.
Oh, good. Bring your brolly if you're coming as a spectator, but good for the horses is what it sounds like.
And that's the most important thing.
Yeah, exactly that. Good for the pockets.
You've got to give us some winners, Daryl. You know that. Your job is to try and make me and Shebahn a bit
right.
We are going to get
wealthier.
your tips in just a second, Daryl, but first it's time to get an update on the rugby in partnership with Tenor Men.
Autumn Internationals update on TalkSport with Tenor Men. Show male urine leakage the red card. Take control. Find out more at tenormen.co.uk.
So Wales take on South Africa 3:10. Wales lost their opening game against Argentina before defeating Japan in their second Autumn Nations game by 1 point. It ended 24-23 last week. They were heavily beaten by New Zealand, and now they face world champions who have won all of their Autumn Nations fixtures and thrashed today's opponents 45-12 at the same time last year. England also ended their campaign unbeaten after a 27-23 win over Argentina at Twickenham last weekend. Steve Borthwick's side have now won their last 11 games as we head towards the Six Nations. That was all thanks to Tenor Men.
Autumn Internationals update on TalkSport with Tenor Men. Show male urine leakage the red card. Take control. Find out more at tenormen.co.uk.
I mean, why is it, Daryl, that we're talking about football as well? Obviously, Cass haven't played for the Republic of Ireland, maybe nearly getting to the World Cup. I mean, you must be buzzing for that. You must be absolutely off the.
Look at it's a hugely exciting team, isn't it? And look, it's sport in general is in such a good place at the moment, isn't it? You know, the rugby, football. You know, everything is really all coming together, and I love this time of the year, because obviously you're coming up to Christmas and there's so much things happening in the sporting world, and you know, when you come into the new year with the Six Nations and everything, it's
That's the thing about Ireland, Cass. I mean, the rugby they get right. Jockeys, they get right. GA, they get right.
Yeah,
but with the football, if they got to the World Cup, it would change the narrative of Ireland's football.
Well, football has been right in Ireland over certain periods. If you take the Euro 88 and then World Cup 90 and 94.
Because you were there.
No, but there was other teams.
I was just going to say, give yourself
2002.
That was the best era, that was, wasn't it?
That was great.
Look, in Ireland, and I experienced it. And I mean, I actually did a show called Bannister in Ireland, which was about, you know, Gaelic football and Gaelic football and things that people do. They give so much to the community to Gaelic football, and it's the same with hurling. You know, and rugby's huge in Ireland as well. So, you know, a lot of sports. I think Irish people generally just love being competitive, and you know, they just like that because so many of them are outside people. Yeah. They want to go outside and do the sports, and
and it's a great thing. I mean, even for the World Cup, I remember watching it coming up. Like, the whole country. It's a small country, but it's completely embedded in it, and it's just one big family just going there. Look at and very, very competitive, and that's the thing. I think that's the thing about Irish people. We are very, very competitive, especially in the outdoor world, in the outdoor sports. It's. No matter what sport we do in Ireland, like even if you look at cricket, we've taken on the cricket for that. And again, we're getting embedded into it, and trying to get yourself up to a standard and a very, very high standard. And again, like say, cricket in one time in Ireland was unheard of, but now they're doing they're doing well.
Yeah, and the women's Ireland team as well. They went to the World Cup in 2023. My sister played in that game. Just unbelievable the fact that everybody got there and got behind them. And I think if the men get there, it's going to be such a new time of it. Kids that have never experienced that for Ireland.
To have an opportunity from where we were and where we are now, having the Czech Republic to play away, because it looked like before we played Portugal and Hungary that we were in a doom loop of not getting close enough. But the two last performances were really terrific. Hungary with the way it was won, and Portugal with the Ronaldo stuff. It was just an amazing, just amazing.
People,
and then watching Portugal then win 9-1 without him, Ronaldo. It was like, wow.
What are the chances? Darragh, while we've got you, we have to get your tips for today, please. You've already spoken about the Gold Cup. We'll come back to that. But starting early doors, then 5 to 12. Do you want to go there first? The free Mares Novices hurdle race?
Yeah, look, this is an absolute belter. Look at all these races here today. What you would expect and what you'd like to be are very, very competitive. All the fields are very open. I do a lot of stuff, a lot of work with Harry Durham. He's a young trainer coming through the ranks, and we go back a long day from our Paul Nicholls' days. And he started training 3 years ago, and he's doing very well. And he's got a really nice filly in the first race.
I was just going to say, we've got a Harry Durham at TalkSport, and I was like, what? He's a jockey now? Sorry, continue.
Yeah, she's very good. We like her. She obviously cost a few quid. She's a former point-to-point winner, but she goes very well. She does things really, really nicely. Look, it is throwing her in the deep end a little bit into this because it is a listed race and it's her first run under rules. But her work at home has been very good. She's been schooling very well. Okay. Harry's horses are in really good form. Look, I think she's got a cracking chance in the first. The favourite could be a difficult horse to beat. Jamie Snowden had a big winner here yesterday with Wendigo. They won the John Frankham Novice Chase here yesterday. She's a good filly as well. She was placed in the Aintree bumper last year. She came out first time out this year when needing to run, and she won very comfortably as well. At Uttoxeter, so she could be hard favoured to peg back, but I wouldn't be putting anyone off Clondor Park.
Look, we've got a lot of other races during the day. Standouts for you, Daryl?
Vivani is a horse, again, come from Harry Durham's. He runs into Jerry Fielding a little bit later on. He's got a handicap mark of 124. I actually rode him work here 10 days ago when they had the gallops morning here, and Clondor Park, she was in that piece of work, and he went very, very well. I think he's got a nice handicap mark. It's a very, very competitive field. It's a very open field. You've got Live Conti there of the Skeltons that looks really, really hot top weight. Could end up potentially, probably will end up potentially being a graded horse. So again, he could be difficult to peg back, but Vivani right down at the lower end of the handicap mark in the weights could have a chance.
Mark that one down, Vivani. Noted. Darrell, Jacob, what a pleasure. Thank you so much. We could talk to you all day. It's been really nice. Thank you.
Thank you very much
for coming to join us here. Coming up later on the show, we'll get the latest odds ahead of all of the racing from Coro, and we'll speak to ITV's racing Ed Chamberlain a little bit later on as well. You're listening to the Weekend Breakfast here on TalkSport. Good morning.
Fancied having a beer in the stands while watching your team at the Emirates? Well, this season you actually can, and not just there. You can do it at Anfield, Goodison Park, Stamford Bridge and Old Trafford too. But hold on, I hear you cry. Isn't drinking alcohol in the stands at Premier League games illegal? You're right, for the men's game it still is, but the Women's Super League is doing something different, and here's how we got there. Back in the 1980s, football had a serious image problem. The sport was plagued by violence, pitch invasions and beer-fuelled chaos. From fan riots at the 1980 Scottish Cup final to the Heysel disaster years later, things were unsafe and the consequences were disastrous. Then in 1985, Margaret Thatcher's government stepped in. They introduced the Sporting Events Control of Alcohol Act, banning alcohol in view of the pitch across England and Wales. Since then, many fans and clubs have called for the law to be relaxed, especially since other sports don't face the same restrictions. If you're popping down to watch the Red Roses roar at Twickenham, feel free to grab a pint on the way to your seat. Wandering down to Lord's to catch some boundary bashing? Fill your boots with G&Ts. But if you were hoping to cheers your club's promotion to the Premier League with a Prosecco in hand from pitchside, sorry, it'll have to be tea or Bovril. In 2021, it looked like things might finally change. The government commissioned the Crouch Report, a fan-led review into football governance. One recommendation was to allow League Two and National League clubs to lift the alcohol ban to boost matchday revenue. But nothing came of it. Authorities still weren't convinced that fans could be trusted. And then in January 2025, something did change. The Women's Championship, now called the WSL 2, launched a trial allowing fans to drink in the stands. The reasoning? Well, fans at women's matches tend to behave differently. Less aggression, more family-friendly vibes. Now, the women's game is raising the bar, literally. Select WSL and WSL2 stadiums are allowing fans to drink alcohol in view of the pitch. It's been a landmark move, showing growing trust in fans and recognising that women's football is building its own culture. So could the men's game be the next to leave the 1980s behind? Well, maybe, if fans can prove they can handle a pint without pitching it at someone. Yeah, don't hold your breath. Until then, it's Bovril all around. Cheers to that.
morning to you. Welcome along to the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on TalkSport with me, Shebahn Aherne, and Millwall Hall of Famer Tony Cascarino.
Good morning.
He's just smashed a bacon roll. Coming up for you on the show, Manchester City aiming to get their title charge back on track as they host Leeds this afternoon.
Our fans make the effort to come to see us. If you do what you have to do, they are there. We have to control ourselves playing better and do it better.
We'll have updates on that one on GameDay Live for you this afternoon. Spurs welcome Fulham. They're looking to bounce back from their North London derby humbling last weekend.
I must admit, I think the key thing for us is just to focus on us. What can we do? How is it we want to attack? How is it we want to defend? How is it we want to perform? Just only focus on that, and then the rest will take care of itself.
Thomas Frank there. We'll see what's up his sleeve this evening. It's live on TalkSport, kick-off at 8 p.m. and we're here at Newbury Races for Coral Gold Cup Day, looking ahead to a huge day of racing.
Shebahn Shep has nothing more to offer. Can Do Kid driven out, idling in front, but Can Do Kid for Harry Cobden and Paul Nichols won the Coral Gold Cup.
Lots of races coming up. The Coral Gold Cup races at 2:55. The tips coming up for you here on the Weekend Breakfast. We're live here from Newbury Racecourse. We're in the Ribchester room. The bacon rolls are out. It's the Weekend Breakfast here on TalkSport. Good morning. Look at you all. Look at every single one of you. You've all had a bacon roll and I'm sitting here empty-handed.
Yeah. But by the way,
you've had one. You've got another one on the way.
No, I'm having one. But by the way, Daryl Jacob, who was with us
Did you
in the
eat
last
Daryl?
No, he's refused it. Jockeys are not allowed to bacon rolls.
I thought, did you not have one? God, you've got to have a bacon roll. You're saying bacon's the one
for
thing
jockeys.
that could make a veggie change, right?
But what, sorry?
It could make a veggie change, bacon.
Oh, could it?
Oh, so good. When I was a pescatarian, I used to still have a little cheeky slice of bacon.
What religion
in
is
there.
that then?
Okay, I eat fish. It all changed when I got pregnant. I couldn't. All I wanted was steak.
Oh no, I've tasted some of that. You know when you taste something, you think, I'm not going to have that. I don't really. And then you taste something and you go, wow, that's incredible.
I know.
Certain foods that they can manufacture, because that's what it is. Some of it, isn't
No.
it? Is it?
McDonald's chicken nuggets, for example. How do they taste so good?
Yeah, I'll try and avoid them.
You've probably not had a Happy Meal all your life, have you?
No, I have had many Happy Meals.
Yeah. That's why you're so happy all the time. No, seriously, guys, bacon rolls, serve me up. Slither of ketchup. Look, no one's moving. No, they're all sitting there eating their rolls, just looking at me.
They're all running now. You mentioned them. Look.
Throwing bacon rolls across the room. I'm only joking. I have lost 9 pounds, if anyone's asking. Coming up for you today, by the way, and I'm not kidding, 5:30, Everton take on Newcastle. This evening, Everton's 10 men went to Old Trafford and won on Monday night, despite Gay's red card for striking his own teammate, a little slap across the chops. Well, Newcastle followed up Saturday's excellent 2-1 win over mighty Man City with a 2-1 defeat in the Champions League against Marseille. David Moyes urged Jack Grealish to rediscover his early season form after a 5-game barren spell.
I'd be lying if I said, I'm completely happy. I want him to score more goals, actually. I need him to come up with more goals. If he keeps doing the assists, then it's okay. But, I think goals are still the bigger thing more than assists. But I think we've been really pleased with him. He's helped us. He made a huge contribution to the team. He's probably played more games this year than he's already played maybe in the last year, or certainly in maybe the last couple of years for all I know. But he's done well. Physically he's coming on. But no, we want to keep him top of him. We want to keep him in the best condition.
What's your thoughts on Jack, Cass?
He seems to be enjoying his football at Everton. I mean, he's playing with a big smile on his face, like he showed at Old Trafford on Monday night.
Mm-hmm.
And look, he's playing regularly, so that's really good for him. I'm sure David Moyes thinks there's more in there again. I tell you, and I'm going to do my list. You know my list I do all the time, and most improved players, and I've done Mateta at Crystal Palace.
You got them all right, to be fair.
Scott McTominay as well, most improved player. I'm going to add another one in. James Garner for Everton.
Okay.
Absolutely brilliant. On Monday, he was the best I've seen him. 24-year-old, he's come on leaps and bounds this season. Maybe a late chance of getting into the England squad, but I thought he was absolutely terrific Monday night.
I thought Everton to control the game the way they did.
And I know because I did a thing on air in Ireland last night, and David Moyes had told people afterwards that he said felt comfortable during the game. Didn't feel like any time that they were, in any serious trouble with 10 men. So big plus for Manchester United. For Everton on Monday night.
David Moyes obviously asked so much about Gay's slap on Keane and everything what went on there. I mean, what was your thoughts? Have you ever lost the rag with a teammate?
No, never with a teammate. I've seen it happen with opposition. Unfortunately, we always go back to the past because we have to. That's all we can call back on. Is that was it really worthy of a sending off? And my answer would be, Michael. What surprised me as well was, like most players get slapped and they go to the ground, they fall around and they sort of pretend. Michael Keane's just stood there and took the little bit of a slap and he didn't go down, even though because he's one of his own players. But it was extraordinary the way it all panned out. I know the rule or the laws of the game are that he has to go. I understand all of that. I just feel it's a weird one to watch.
Yeah.
When you see your own teammates. And hopefully, I'm sure they did. It did not felt, though, winning the game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what would it be like if they didn't win the game and they lost
crumbled,
it? Yeah, so...
I mean, David Moyes says he likes it. He likes to see his teammates fight. And
well, he means it in a different way, doesn't he? He doesn't really mean he actually fight. He means that the
show
courage
that aggression
to battle.
And passion
absolutely. And any manager would want that. That your players are given blood, sweat, and tears. That's what you want from your team. That doesn't mean you can do over the top tackles or get too physical. It means you just sport is around intimidation and pressure, and that's what the very best of sport is.
Yeah, fascinating scenes though it really was. Let's focus on Newcastle then. The opposition for Everton tonight, like we say, it's 5:30 this game. Eddie Howe says his side must improve their away form if they want to push for the European places.
I think that's a difficult one to judge. We're disappointed. Look, we started the games really well. We've scored at good times. And historically, I think from those moments we've gone on and either been able to keep a clean sheet, because there's two ways of looking at that. One goal is enough, and defensively we pride ourselves on being good enough to maintain that clean sheet. And also the other side of it is we should go on and look to score the second and third goal and really consolidate our strong start. We haven't done either, and that's a disappointment, not just for me but for the players.
14th in the table, Cass. He's been asked numerous times about the away form. It's been dreadful. Do you think they're making enough progress with Eddie Howe?
I think it's really tricky because they were brilliant against Manchester City. Superb. Now, they made a few changes at the start of Velodrome in midweek in the Champions League, and Marseille have been doing really well. And they've ended up losing the game. They took an early lead in, and they looked pretty comfortable. But as the game wore on, Newcastle struggled. And I've seen some really completely contrast sort of performances from Newcastle. Really, really good, and some really poor. I can't make up my mind because they've got so much physicality in their side. They're a big side, Newcastle, and when they get it right and pressure, I just don't see how you can do that week in, week out, because then you're playing Champions League in midweek. You're having so many games. To expect the same 11 or close to the same 11, Eddie has to make changes. And keeping that going is really tough.
5:30 this evening. All the updates for you on GameDay Live here on TalkSport. Everton take on Newcastle, and it's time now for this.
Step up to the Oki and win on TalkSport.
I cannot wait for this. It's going to be absolutely epic. We're closing in on the TalkSport Darts Presenter Trophy 2025. It's into its third year, absolutely on a roll. 8 of TalkSport's biggest names going head-to-head of the PDC World Darts Championship. It kicks off very, very soon. And this year, you and a friend could be with us. It tends to get a bit leery. There's a drinks token on arrival. Everybody's all pumped up and having good fun. All the TalkSport team will be there, and you and a friend could be there as well. It's Wednesday the 10th of December in London. 2 seats, 2 insider passes, a money can't buy experience for the ultimate TalkSport fan. Did you hear Luke Littler doing the draw the other day?
No.
He drew Natalie Sawyer against Darren Bent.
Again? Oh, right, OK.
If she beats him again, honest to God, it'll be absolutely massive. The very next day, you'll also be heading to the opening day at the PDC World Darts Championship, an actual proper darts tournament. We'll sort 2 nights hotel and a massive £2,500 cash as well. It's fun. It really, really is. Get involved for your chance to win. Text WIN, W-I-N, to 8333. 8333. 8 text WIN to 8333. 8 text costs £2 plus your one standard network rate. Or you can call 0343 423 9761. That's 0343 423 9761. Lines close at 4 p.m. next Thursday. And that's when you'll need to answer your phone if it rings that day. Keep it on. 18 plus UK, excluding Northern Ireland. So for your chance to win, text WIN, WIN, to 83338 now. And you can come and play with all the gang at TalkSport for our darts tournament. This is a network promotion. Full terms and conditions at talksport.com. Coming up next, get the kettle on, get yourself a cup of tea or a coffee, because it's Cappuccino with Cascarino on the way next.
Hello and welcome to TalkSport Goals. We're taking you through what should be another busy day of football.
Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology.
How did you get to that conclusion?
That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
Weekend Sports Breakfast Show. We're live from Newbury Racecourse today. Shebahn Aherne alongside former Nancy striker Tony Cascarino. We're live on your smart TV. We're on the YouTube channel. If you want to see Tony Cascarino in a shirt and tie,
Well, I haven't put the tie on yet. But
Why is it sitting on the desk? Like,
I don't know. I just haven't.
It's luck.
Put it on
put
yet.
it
It's
on
a bit.
now,
It's just,
can
well,
you?
it's still pitch black out, isn't it?
Yeah,
so, you know.
8 o'clock, ladies. You don't want to miss it. Money, Money, Money by ABBA. We're playing this as it was Black Friday yesterday. Some of you will have spent or will be spending your money on the best Black Friday deals you've seen yesterday or over the weekend. I mean, there were so many. Some places do like 50% off.
Yeah, but my missus was saying to me, all the stuff I wanted to get had gone.
Yeah.
Was that you know, she put a bucket list and said things she wanted to get on Black Friday. And she said, yeah, I know. But she said a lot of them I couldn't get. Well, that's a good thing. You haven't spent anything. And then
I went to Bicester Village.
Oh, well, I know,
specifically to get Ugg boots for the kids. And I thought, I'll only because they're expensive Ugg boots, but I thought their wee feet get wet going into school. They're going to be using them all the way through March, probably. And if I get them, great. You should have seen the queue.
Oh, right, yeah.
Honestly, you should have seen the queue at Ugg at Bicester yesterday. It was the biggest queue there. 50% off they were doing. I waited for 5 minutes, didn't move, and I thought, nah, I'm going home.
What, just pay 100% and buy them?
No, I didn't get them. They're going to get one of the cheaper pairs from Matalan. Yeah. no better. Mama's going to write in a Sharpie, Ugg, along the side.
No.
Honestly, I'll keep them warm. Cass, someone in the TalkSport family, does not believe in Black Friday. Have a listen to this.
Talking of new things, Black Friday is today. Alan, are you a Black Friday fan?
No, because I think it's a con.
Right.
Why? It's a con. I don't think you're getting any deals at all. I think if you shop around, you get the same deals throughout the year.
Well, funny you say that, because 8 in 10 products advertised on Black Friday deals are the same price or cheaper at other times of the year. That's by which. So, Gabby, I know...
See, that's a con, isn't it?
Well, Gabby's wife is a big fan of Black Friday, I believe.
So I think she does look for deals, but it's been going on for a week or so, or a bit longer.
Yeah. And then we've got Cyber Monday.
Yeah, it's not just today that it started. I think there's been sales.
Do they do Black Fridays and Harrods and Mayfair?
Not for me, mate.
A deal on that Rolex, yeah?
Oh, Bond Street and all that, New Bond Street, Regent. Do they, Gab?
All my clothes are from Reese, from Zara, from Arne. They are, mate.
Absolute fibber.
I've got the same trainers on today.
Giorgio and
no.
Hugo over there.
Those days have long gone, mate. I'm in my lane. Katie.
Imagine when you think about it, when I mentioned, designer labels, we're talking thin guys, aren't we? That wear that. You know what I mean? We're into...
Unlike me and you.
We're into Gants and stuff like that.
It's so true. I've never seen Alan Brazil unless he's in a Gant shirt.
Yeah. It's funny, Alan.
That is
I
his
mean,
label.
what did you expect? Have you just guessed and done like, okay, who's going to be the guy that doesn't believe in Black Friday?
Yeah.
Right. I'm pretty sure all of us would have gone, I think that would be Alan.
I bet you somebody who does believe in it is Jill Brazil.
Yeah.
The wife has it covered. By the way, speaking of wives, I didn't know Gabby got married.
I knew he was getting married. I didn't know. It must have only just been recently.
Well, I think we're now calling her the wife just to see when he snaps.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, but he hasn't as yet. I met her recently.
Yeah?
She's so sweet. Oh, my God, she's the sweetest person I've ever met. I remember leaving being like, oh, what, I'm not an absolute angel. How have you pulled her, Gabs? Honestly, he's punching big time. Hi, Mona. Good morning. The day, 7 massive races, including the Gold Cup. That's at 2:55. All the tips coming up as well. For now, looking out the window, we're here at the a very special box at the Ribchester Room, and looking out behind us, it's the parade area where the horses will come very soon. When the sun starts to come up, or when it starts to brighten up anyway, the horses will be coming out behind us for a little morning jog.
Yeah. I can't see anything at the moment, but I'm sure we're right near the ring, aren't we?
We are.
Yeah, so
yes,
we're going to get some sights probably around 8 o'clock and onwards.
That should be nice. Looking forward to it. And it's time now for a little bit of this.
A cappuccino with Cascarino on TalkSport. Yummy.
Cappuccino time, cup of tea, getting into your Saturday morning. Story time with Tony Cascarino. What are we talking about this week?
Fans. Fans. And more so fans abroad, as in when I was in France, because there were things that happened that would never happen in the UK when I was at Marseille, and obviously Nancy as well. And look, we always treat the fans as a 12th man, don't we? In England, you have the 12th man. Certain clubs you feel like have it. In France, if you weren't pulling your weight, it was really interesting watching Marseille-Newcastle, because Aubameyang, who at the end of his Arsenal career was clearly thrown in the towel with Arsenal, but he was running around in the Newcastle game like you wouldn't believe.
Really?
But there's an added pressure with being at Marseille because the fans have a say. Because the fans will get on coaches and speak to players. And I remember doing it my first time, seeing fans get on the coach and actually saying, but sent by the president, that they want to have a word with the team after a defeat. Oh. And they're standing there lecturing us about a defeat. They would come to the training ground as well. They come in, and this isn't just Marseille. This would happen at Rennes, it happens at Lyon, where fans have their say on their football club. So Aubameyang running around and chasing like he did and doing backflips and all the stuff he's doing, is you don't get away with it at Marseille. The fans do not, and I'm not condoning their behaviour because it's pretty intimidating.
Yeah,
they make it in no uncertain terms that you have to pull your weight for the shirt because fans are allowed a big say in France, way more than here. We treat our fans as, yeah, they're there and they support us, yes, great and all that, but they'd never be allowed on buses. They wouldn't have them at the training grounds having a voice and saying, can we meet the players? We need to speak to the players. This would never happen in England.
I've seen a clip, I think it might have been Lyon.
Lyon did it recently.
And they were standing there with a big megaphone and they were debriefing the team while they were on the park after a defeat. And I was like, this is just wild. And the team was standing there nodding their heads going, yeah,
no,
you're dead right.
Well, I was told, don't answer. I remember getting on the coach and saying, why are they on the bus? And like to the lads, and they're like, shh, no, sit here, listen. And just sat there and I just, you have to give them respect because that's what they expect from you. I mean, look, it's a strange... Look, there's the Ultras and there's the Winners, the Yankees, the 69ers, and all these Ultra groups. I mean, the derby in France is PSG versus Marseille. Well, it's a derby separated by about 600 kilometres, but it's more of a political derby, and they're the two most successful teams in France. And Paris has, or used to have, the Boulogne Boys, which was the 80s, but even they had problems within their groups because they had different ultra groups and they used to battle. And there was a period, I'm not sure what year it was, but it wasn't that long ago. I think it's about 2012, 13. The president of PSG banned 13,000 fans from coming to games because they were a part of a group, that he didn't agree with. So they got banned and it broke up that particular group. But it's the same in Marseille where you have these group leaders and Marseille's more left-leaning. More left-leaning, and Paris was more right-leaning at the time. But there was battles going on within all the crowds.
God, just imagine seeing that.
That really... France is incredibly political as well within football. They make their stance on certain views. But it was one of the most amazing things I've ever... Because you look at it and go, you can't be doing that, and they can't be intimidating. But watching Aubameyang, and by the way, other French players who would not because they know the consequences if they're not pulling their weight.
Yeah.
We have players. Like we had Ozil at Arsenal. Yeah. Sanchez at Manchester United. You could put Pogba in that bracket as well. That when they weren't doing it at the club, it felt quite easy for them because the fans would say on radio, on their comments and whatever, that wasn't particularly nice, but never to the levels of what happened in France.
Amazing. I can't believe them getting on the bus and tearing you off after your performance. That is just bizarre. I'd love to see that in the Premier League.
It was crazy. It was crazy.
Absolutely. That was Cappuccino with Cascarino. You're listening to the Weekend Breakfast here on TalkSport. Coming up next, we're going to hear from Bournemouth captain Adam Smith. Cass caught up with him earlier on this week. They're heading to Sunderland this afternoon. Good morning. Morning to you. It's the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on TalkSport. My name's Shebahn. Former Millwall and Chelsea striker Tony Cascarino is here. We're at Newbury Racecourse today. We're in the coral box looking out from the Ribchester room across what is still a very, very dark Newbury Racecourse. But it'll be brightening up soon. I believe some of the horses will be making their way out for a morning gander.
Yeah, we can have a good little look then, can't we? And
yeah.
I was here last year, Shebahn. It was great stuff. Really good day.
Who embarrassed
Great
themselves from the team?
Tony. I think it was Tony, or was that the year before?
What did he do?
He was worse for wear, put it that way.
Tony, you're a disgrace. Love it though.
I think that was the year before. We did it a couple of years back to back.
You lot had an overnight last night. Did anybody disgrace themselves?
No, all good.
Hotel? No,
quiet meal, all pretty, quite mundane, boring. I told a few silly stories.
Oh, I love your stories.
No, it was good. It was a good night. We had a nice night.
Luckily, I wasn't there. I would have been 3 bottles of wine deep, dancing on the tables. Some of your headlines this morning. Very, very sad news, I'm afraid. British Olympic gold medal winning hockey player Imran Sherwani has sadly passed away at the age of 63. He scored twice in the 1988 final as Great Britain defeated West Germany 3-1 in Seoul. It was the commentator Barry Davis famously saying, "Where were the Germans?" But frankly, who cares? Imran Sherwani has sadly passed away. In other news, David Moyes has said the FA have rejected Everton's appeal against Idrissa Gueye's red card without providing an explanation. And Sunderland face Bournemouth at the Stadium of Light today in one of the 3 o'clock kickoffs. Here's our reporter with everything you need to know.
Hi, I'm Mark Wilson, heading up to the Stadium of Light to see 7th place Sunderland take on 8th place Bournemouth. Both sides had great starts to the season, but neither have won in the last 3. Feels like a key game for 2 teams looking to get back into that top 4. But who will prevail? Former Watford man Troy Deeney alongside me. Should be a cracker. Goals, I think, at the Stadium of Light as Sunderland take on Bournemouth.
Looking forward to it. Mark Wilson there with all of the latest in that game kicking off at 3 o'clock. All the updates on Game Day live as ever. Speaking of this game, Cass, you are been busy, haven't you, this week? Because you've been speaking to the Bournemouth captain, Adam Smith, on Zoom.
Yeah, it was good. It was really good.
Is it the bromance we never knew we needed?
No, he was just, it was just an interesting story because where Bournemouth are, and Adam's been there a long time.
Yeah.
He's played over 400 games, I think, for Bournemouth, and he's experienced all the highs and lows. And Bournemouth are in a really good place as a football club at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah, very much so. I mean, looking at the table and how well they've been doing, they're up to 8th. Adam Smith, a huge part of that. Here he is in conversation with Tony Cascarino.
I looked at, as being a captain and what you've witnessed over the last sort of decade plus of rise of Bournemouth and seeing, huge signings, players moving for big money. Tell us about that period of time, Adam.
Yeah, it's obviously been a long 10 years, a lot of up and downs, a lot of changes. And it's just crazy how far the club has come, especially since I first joined in the Championship. And to see where we are now is quite incredible, and enjoying every minute of it.
Yeah, I mean, look, you've produced an unbelievable array of talent. And what is it, Adam, that, we look at some of the bigger clubs, obviously Manchester United, Liverpool doing big transfers, but we've seen the rise of Bournemouth, Brighton, Crystal Palace, just to name a few, like yourself, the transfers, you've seemed to get so much more right.
Well, it's obviously not down to the players. It's down to the recruitment. I mean, obviously, I don't know what they do in the recruitment side, but Simon Francis, Thiago, and all the other recruitment people are just finding these players out of nowhere. And obviously, as players, we love it because it's improving the team and making us better. But yeah, it's all down to them, to be honest, Tony.
Yeah, and they also seem to do it with the managers as well. You know, Andoni has done an amazing job. And I was at the Crystal Palace game early in the season, and I said the best 60 minutes of football I've seen from anyone this year was Bournemouth at Palace, because I know you eventually drew the game 3-3, but for an hour, I thought your side were tremendous.
Yeah, it's just the way that Gaffer sets us up is the way I see football. I love it how like no matter who we play, we're not going to change for anyone. We're gonna press front foot. We're not going to change for anyone. So, and I like it that we can sometimes play direct, sometimes play short, and expose the spaces in behind. So yeah, so we just play entertaining football and we just go for every game, you know.
Well, it's based on, you know, you've got pace because people like Justin Kluivert, you've got Semenya, then you've got Krupi and Evan Nielsen, you know, all these players in offensive positions that makes the job easier for the midfielders, but there's pace all over the team. Yeah,
I mean, that's obviously down to the recruitment, what sort of players they're bringing in, but it's also down to the way we train. We train very hard. We only have one day off a week. We're in on Sundays after a game, so it's not like the way we play. It's we do come in most days and we work hard, and the training is very physical. So you can see that on the performances of the weekend.
Yeah, I experienced that in my part of my career, Adam, in France, where training was so hard. I used to dread it because it was so difficult. Two, three times.
The games are actually easier than training sometimes, you know, which, yeah, it's obviously why we're doing so well.
Yeah, I just want to have a word on Semenya because a lot of talk of him, and I tell you what, I always feel like he's a player. I don't know him, but I always look at him, and like many Bournemouth players, like you could name a lot of Bournemouth players who are like this, all seem to have their feet firmly on the ground.
Yeah, and he is. He's the most humble lad I've met in football, to be honest. One of the nicest guys. No matter how well he's done, he's always stayed the same. But that's down to us as a group as well, you know.
Yeah.
And when new players come in, we settle them in well. We're all humble guys. We all work hard. We all want to improve. So that I think that is down to our squad. And yeah, looking after these young players and helping them along their way, you know. And because we do buy a lot of young players, we need to give them experience and let them know how we train. So yeah, there's not a bad person in the squad.
No. Tell us, Adam, your role. Has that changed along the way? Because at 34, being the captain and some, you know, you play, but not always. But do you feel your role has evolved in that time?
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, I've seen a lot of change over the years, and I know that this club, the DNA of it. So me, myself, Lewis Cook, we're the type of players that I've been there quite a while now. And when new players come in, we obviously sit them down and talk through what this club's about and how we train, etc. And I think we're just all nice lads here. And when, like I said, when new lads come in, this kind of takes them a couple of days and they feel comfortable, you know. And I think that's important.
Well, it feels like the journey of Bournemouth will continue, because if we've seen so much change in the last decade, like Bournemouth have had, do you see the next decade of continuation with the stadium and everything, the build-up of a much bigger football club?
Yeah, that's obviously the owner's plans. Obviously, he's doing the stadium next, which obviously needs to be done. I think everyone knows that. We've obviously got this amazing training facility now, which is one of the best in the Premier League, and the team's obviously doing well as well, which helps. So, yeah, I mean, in 10 years' time, I don't know where this club's going to be. Hopefully, yeah, much bigger and better. And it's if you're a Bournemouth fan, you've got a lot to look forward to for sure.
Well, you can add another one of them teams that have done incredible with recruitment, as you've touched on, Adam, is that you're playing Sunderland at the weekend.
Yeah.
Boy, they've come up and they've done a lot of great business. They've got loads of energy, and they've took the leaf out of the Bournemouth, Brighton, Palace mould, you know, where you can make a team.
Yeah, they've obviously got a lot of pace, physical team, a lot of experience now because of the ball players that have played at the highest level. So, I mean, you can see how well they've done. They're on the same points as us. So we know it's going to be a real tough game. I remember watching them against Arsenal at the stadium at home, and they gave them real problems. And yeah, we're expecting a real tough game, but one that we know if we turn up that we can definitely cause them problems for sure.
You're listening to the Weekend Breakfast here on TalkSport. Bournemouth's Adam Smith with Tony Cascarino. He seems like a lovely lad.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing the exact role that the manager would want. He's club captain, and if called upon, he's needed. He'd do a job and supporting the younger players. I mean, it's 7th against 8th today, Sunderland and Bournemouth.
Should be a good game.
After 12 games, who would have thought that these two would be doing so well, 19 points each in the Premier League?
It's incredible. And Adam Smith, part of the team that went up in the 14-15 season under Eddie Howe, so he's been part of the journey for such a long time.
Yeah, well, Bournemouth has been a really small club over the years. I mean, I played against them in, which would be now League One. I mean, many moons ago, and the club has kept that momentum. Eddie Howe done a hell of a job when he was there of keeping him in the top flight and, having success. The new ground's on the horizon, which will be a big thing for them. But it's a really good game because both these teams have massive amounts of energy in their team.
Sunderland take on Bournemouth, 3 o'clock today. All of the updates, part of Game Day live on TalkSport with Adrian Durham. By the way, tonight Ben Whittaker makes his matchroom debut against Benjamin Gavazzi for the WBC Silver Light Heavyweight title in the World Title Eliminator. You can watch it with our friends only on DAZN.
Boxing update on TalkSport with DAZN, the global home of boxing. Sign up now at dazn.com/boxing.
We are out on the road today. We're at Newbury Racecourse with Coral. We're in the Ribchester room looking out over Newbury Racecourse. It's still dark for now, but we've got lots of racing to build up to today, including the Coral Gold Cup. That's at 2:55 this afternoon. And coming up next, we'll be joined here by former Spurs, Liverpool and QPR defender Steven Caulker next.
Hello and welcome to TalkSport Goals. We're taking you through what should be another busy day of football.
Chance to win it! Oh! Oh!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology, Rick. How would you get to that conclusion?
That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
Listen to Weekend Sports Breakfast here on TalkSport. We're live on your smart TV. We're live on your YouTube channel. It's Shebahn Aherne alongside former Chelsea striker Tony Cascarino. We went a little bit early with the Barry White. Steven Caulker's with us at Newbury Racecourse, and you started speaking. I was like, wow, you've got some voice on you.
I appreciate it. You said you wouldn't mention it on air, but we started already. Yeah?
I text the lads saying we'll do it at the end of Steven Caulker. Here we are. We're going on air with Barry White. It's a good thing.
Yeah. Thank you.
Honestly, you're replacing us in no time, that's for sure. Some of your headlines this morning. Cole Palmer is fit to play for Chelsea against London rivals Arsenal. In tomorrow's Premier League game at Stamford Bridge, Oscar Piastri could well eat into Lando Norris's championship lead at Saturday's sprint race in Qatar after a mistake allowed Piastri to take pole position, and also Mercedes' George Russell has come in second. Plus, there's a battle of the bees as Brentford take on Burnley. Here's everything you need to know about this one today.
I'm Alex Crook at the GTEC Community Stadium, where two basement battlers are looking to put recent defeats behind them as Brentford take on Burnley. The Clarets have dropped into the bottom three, but Scott Parker's side are much more competitive than they were last time around in the Premier League under Vincent Kompany. So Bees boss Keith Andrews won't be taking them lightly. Arsenal invincible Martin Keown alongside me as Brentford take on Burnley.
Alex Crook, thank you very much. Looking forward to that one. All the updates as well on GameDay Live. If you're heading out today, take the TalkSport app anywhere with you, and you can keep across everything from the Premier League and beyond. We're joined now at Newbury Racecourse, the man who's played for Liverpool, QPR, Southampton, and fond of a bit of Barry White. Good morning to Steven Caulker. How are you?
Good morning. I'm good, thanks. How are you both doing?
Good, thanks. Thanks for coming down.
Yeah, we're really good. I'm looking at your career, Steven, and you're only 33 years old. You've played at some places though around the world, haven't you?
I know. I'm constantly living out of a suitcase. I've got a long list of there. Do you want to try and name some of them?
Do you want to try and spell them?
Yeah, it's hard enough.
How is it? That's an Icelandic club, isn't it?
The last team, Stjarnan.
Stjarnan, is it? And
yeah.
does that mean star? Or something like
yeah, that's our logo, Star logo. We've got some of the best celebrations in the world previously. You have to check them out on YouTube.
Oh, right.
All kinds. We're trying to bring them back, but we unfortunately I never scored, so I never got the moment to do it.
So, because I talked earlier about fans, and you've been to Turkey and played, which can be pretty hostile, and you would have experienced the sort of fan relationship to a club that I was talking about, which in England you don't have. You know, the players are really at distance from the fans mainly, aren't they, compared to foreign clubs?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, when I played in Turkey, I was fortunate to go to Fenerbahce, and the pressure on you there to perform is huge, and the pressure on the president, it's not just the players, it's on everyone there, from the coaches, the president, all the backroom staff. You felt it, and the games or your journey to the game could be quite hostile because they wanted you to win, and they really, really wanted you to win. And it wasn't a case, you felt that, it wasn't a case of, we'll turn up today, have a few pints, and if we win or lose, it's been a good day. It meant more than that. And it does in England, of course, it does in England, especially at certain clubs. But it was hostile. And I think that pressure was, I would say, actually enjoyable to play in some ways, because it definitely gave me an adrenaline rush. But then in other ways, when you were on the receiving end of it and things weren't going too well, it was a struggle. struggle.
Yeah. Understandable.
I can't imagine that. Just here in this country, imagine the fans had that kind of impact on a team, but to be able to go on a bus and like debrief a game.
And training grounds, because the training grounds could be as bad, couldn't you? You could get a lot of fans turn up at the training ground and then suddenly demand a meeting with the result of last weekend.
That was actually a proper shock for me. We was training when I went to Fenerbahce. We were training up in the mountains, like high up in the mountains, and all of a sudden we went out to training and there was like 2,000-3,000 Fenerbahce fans. And I was thinking, how have they even got here, firstly, and what they were doing? But they're there with the flares and all sorts. So
at training.
At training. So even there, you're like, actually, do you know what? You better perform.
So tell us, obviously you started at Tottenham. And, you know, a young lad getting the opportunity to come through. Just tell us about that time and how you felt you developed or some of the issues for young players that have to experience.
Do you know what? It happened really quickly for me. So I'd been on trial loads of places from the age of 9 or 10 up until 15. And I got rejected by all of them, to be honest with you. As soon as I went on trial, I was so nervous, so anxious. I wasn't the same player that was playing for my school or playing in Sunday league, where I used to love it with the mates, no pressure. As soon as I went on trial, crumbled. And it wasn't until I got to Tottenham at 15 where something just clicked. And I got signed literally after 2 sessions, which was probably a good thing, because I think if it went on much longer, I would have shown that nervous side to me that I guess I'd been trying to hide. And from signing at 15, I'd gone on loan at 17, so I only had 2 years where things had just turned around really, really quickly. I was on loan, I was playing League One football, and it was like, it just catapulted from, as I said, from 15 not being anywhere to, by the age of 20, having done 100+ games, loan spells, and then representing England. So it happened really quickly for me. But what I think I probably missed out on as a youngster is that development, because not being in academy for a lot, well, not for a long period of time at all, I do feel like I missed that, game understanding, that tactical understanding, media training, all the little things that they give you within an academy. I kind of missed that side of it.
Well, I mean, like you say, you've been around, you've had quite the career, been to very interesting places. It must have helped you as a person. You've travelled.
Yeah, absolutely. The life experience has been amazing.
Yeah.
So I've lived in some amazing parts of Turkey. I've lived in some difficult parts of Turkey. I've been in Iceland, been in Spain, obviously representing Sierra Leone national team as well. So stayed a few nights, sleeping at airports and all that when we're travelling over there. So it's been wild, but it's definitely helped shape me and leads me on to my next chapter hopefully as a coach.
Well, let's do that, and let's talk to you about your teams as well, your former teams, Spurs and Liverpool. You're staying with us for another section, so we've got a hold of you, Steven Caulker. We're live from Newbury Racecourse. We're at the Ribchester Room today. The sun, or what used to be of the sun, is starting to brighten up outside. We're looking out over the parade area just now. The horses will be waking up very, very soon, and we will bring you everything you need to know from Newbury Racecourse. You've got the 255 Gold Cup race today as well. Coming up next, Steven Caulker will be with us. We're going to get into Liverpool and Spurs next on the Weekend Breakfast here on TalkSport. Good morning.
Monaco, Singapore, Las Vegas. What do they all have in common? Well, they're all F1 street circuits. 20 years ago, the sports only visited 3 a year. From 2026, there'll be 10, despite the actual racing often being worse. So why? Why are there so many street circuits? Cars racing past the Casino Monte Carlo is one of the iconic images in all of sport. But in the last few years, it's been joined in the Street Circuit Club by the dazzling Grand Prix on the Las Vegas Strip, in Miami, Azerbaijan and others. And there's no sign of the trend slowing down. The streets of Madrid have also gotten involved, and there are conversations about Grand Prix in the capitals of Thailand and Rwanda. But fitting them in means we said goodbye to classic circuits like Hockenheim and Imola, angering fans who are still packing out the European tracks like Spa, the Hungaroring and Monza. And these generally produce more wheel-to-wheel action than street circuits too. At Silverstone in 2025, there were a total of 26 on-track overtakes. At Monaco, 4. I'm an F1 enthusiast. Even I struggle with that. But it appears to be a good step. In 2025, there was a record 2.3 million strong viewership for the Monaco Grand Prix in the US alone. Meanwhile, for the British Grand Prix several weeks later, 1.5 million tuned in. So why are we seeing this drive towards street circuits? Well, no prizes for guessing. Money. Formula One demands a fee of between $20 and $60 million for the rights to even hold an event. In total, including sponsorships, it's believed officials in Saudi Arabia pay almost $100 million for their race. The huge fees are possible because of the street track's city centre locations, as people staying at hotels at inflated prices and tourist sites brimming with visitors mean the cities rake the cash back in when the race comes to town. So it makes financial sense for Formula One and the cities, but will it cost the sport in the long run if F1 races are too boring? After all, nothing beats the roar of an F1 car as it flies through the forests of Europe, or mechanics watching a storm coming across the humid Asian countryside. Take that away and, well, you may as well just watch American IndyCar.
Good morning to you. Welcome along to Saturday, the weekend sports breakfast on TalkSport with me, Shebahn, and former Marseille striker Tony Cascarino. We're also joined by former Liverpool defender Steven Caulker. Good morning to you both. Good morning. It's live today from Newbury Racecourse. We're in the Ribchester room here at Newbury, and it's just brightening up outside. How do I put this positively? It's lashing down. But it's lovely out there, and it's starting to brighten up as well. A great day for some racing action.
Got your umbrella?
Did I have? I borrowed yours. It's good conditions for the horses, I believe. We're building up to all of the sporting event here today. And of course, the 2:55 Coral Gold Cup Handicap Steeplechase. That's our feature race today. All the details on that coming up. You're listening to the Weekend Breakfast here on TalkSport. Good morning. And of course, a lot of Premier League action to get stuck into as well. Our live game tonight here on TalkSport is Spurs against Fulham, 8 o'clock kickoff. We're also going to be joined later on by former Chelsea midfielder Jody Morris to look ahead to the Chelsea-Arsenal game later on in the show. That's obviously tomorrow at 4:30. But former Liverpool and Spurs centre-back Steven Caulker is with us this morning. Steven, 6 defeats and 7 for the champions. What on earth is going on at Liverpool?
Yeah, it's been a really tough start to the season for Liverpool. I mean, I know they started with a couple of wins, but the performances weren't great, if I'm honest. They weren't great, and they were kind of scraping by. Since then, it has turned. I'd actually say the performance during the week wasn't too bad, especially first half, but the result and the way it's ended for them it's not looking good. And the bit I didn't like the most during the week was I felt like once PSV went ahead, it did kind of all fall to pieces.
Yeah, if you dissect all 4 goals, you can, from the handball, I don't know why Van Dijk is disputing the handball, it's as obvious as you're going to get. And then you look at Konate making a mistake, a ball under his foot. You had a situation with Curtis Jones trying to float the ball over a player in his own 18-yard box, which we were talking off air, Shebahn, me and Stephen, about the modern day playing football. And Stephen would have seen that from going through the young ages of overplaying everywhere. So it's interesting to get your perspective, because the game was, you're only 33 now. You would have seen that not only in the academy, but all the way through football.
Yeah, so when I started at 17, you're going back to 2008, 2009 season, we played direct. That's what it was. It was like in League One. We played direct. We got the ball from at the back, and we were told to hit the channels. And it was effective, simple but effective. Pep then came to England and football changed a lot. We did start to then see teams playing out for the back more and more. And I was fortunate to play at Swansea in that system. But I feel like teams have then, caught on to that, and they go. A lot of teams are high press now, and the amount of goals that are being given away from teams playing out from the back. I don't know whether the risk reward is truly worth it. I'm not sure. Certainly, as a fan, when I watch football now, I'll be honest, I do like a little bit of a balance, but I do miss the old style. I do miss it.
So, okay, I've asked you a question. Did you enjoy the competitive way of playing, having a stand-up centre-forward against you, which you might have to fight for? Because sometimes centre-forwards can be literally redundant because no one gives them the ball.
Yeah, I don't know if I enjoyed playing against the likes of Andy Carroll and so on when West Ham used to just be punted it into him in the box. But I knew that it was effective. We all knew that it was effective. We all knew that, we were playing at Upton Park against the likes of Andy Carroll. We knew that we had to be ready because West Ham would put the ball in the box on all occasions. If you're going away at Stoke, especially under Tony Pulis, you knew the long throw was coming into the box. They were always really hard to beat. Teams now obviously play a different style of football. On the ball, if you ask me in possession, of course I want to be a ball-playing centre-back.
You was a ball-playing centre-back.
And I enjoyed that. Definitely I enjoyed that. But if you ask me, as I said, as a neutral watching, or even as a coach, an up-and-coming coach, I do think there's certainly a space for that to come back into football. And I do feel like it is. I mean, if you look at Tottenham Arsenal, last week, Vicario was taking Spurs free kicks from the halfway line and putting it directly into Arsenal's box. So I do feel like football is coming back to that, and it's coming back to it because Arsenal are top of the league, and a lot of their goals are coming from that. From just that.
Yeah. In terms of Liverpool's situation, then, do you think it's a bit of a crisis? Do you think Arne Slot's the man? Obviously, we have to take into consideration what the dressing room have been through in the summer as well, with Jota's passing. Where do you stand with it all?
So I did actually say a couple of weeks ago that I would say it's not really a crisis, in my opinion. It's just having a little dip, which I think every team goes through. And then I went to the Madrid game, saw them play really well. Yeah. I saw them do well against Villa a couple of days before it. However, I am a little bit concerned right now with the goals that they're conceding, the amount of goals that they're conceding, the fact that it's not just away from home. I remember before the City game, Arne Slot touched on the fact that it is difficult to play away in the Premier League. Of course it is. But then to go and lose 3-0 at home to Forest, and then back that up with a defeat to PSV, a heavy defeat to PSV. I'm a little bit concerned. And of course, they made a lot of new signings. It takes a while for that team to gel. But also their mainstays, Van Dijk and Salah, right now aren't in form. And that can happen. Listen, these are, elite players. And everyone goes through patches. But I would say right now that they're lacking something, and it is.
Yeah, I'm very concerned.
Very
as
concerned.
A fan, very
for
concerned.
Arne Slot.
And Shebahn knows because I've gone on.
It's been crying about it for months
quite
now.
a long time. That you touched on that the performances and the results early on didn't match. They weren't. I didn't think they were even close to being the Liverpool team of last year. I look at the right back position. We've seen 6 different right backs at Liverpool this season. 6. From Endo playing there, for Dominic Szoboszlai, from Bradley. Then you've had Frimpong, and you've had Curtis Jones playing there. You've had who's the other one? The other lad that's played there. Gomez. 6 right backs have played for Liverpool this year. Because the manager cannot find a solution to what's happening with his team. Because how can only one player in that setup, and that's Szoboszlai, be playing anything close? Everyone else is playing way below last season's performances.
It's interesting you say that, because I think, as a defender myself, you want consistency in the back four. You certainly want consistency.
Yeah, and he's not got consistency.
Well, they are consistently bad. They're consistently bad. They're conceding. Honestly, I look at them and I just think they're so easy to play against.
They are at the moment.
At the moment, that's their problem.
Well, when I said, going back to the Madrid game, when I saw them play with Conor Bradley at right back, I thought he was outstanding.
Yeah,
that's one of the best performances I've seen from him, certainly. And from any fullback in modern day football against Vinicius Jr., he was outstanding. Robertson at left back was great. And I feel like, as a result of that, Van Dijk and Konate actually looked more comfortable in the middle. I know, Van Dijk's come under a lot of criticism. I think a lot of that's quite unfair. I mean, I played with him. He's a top player. And I get that being the captain, when things aren't going well, you come under criticism. But it is difficult. They've got the second choice keeper playing right now. They've changed around the right back. They've changed around the left back. It is difficult to find consistency, but the amount of goals they are leaking, it is a concern. I mean, do you believe Arne Slot may?
No, I want him. I said last week, I want him to try and find a solution of getting Liverpool back on track. I don't want him to be sacked. But as every game goes by, and when West Ham this weekend, and if they lost, it feels like it's getting very, very close to them, the club. You don't spend 400 million and no one gets away with it. You might be the recruitment people that have to suffer because of the amount of money they've spent. There will be consequences if this continues, whether it's Arne Slot, recruitment, Michael Edwards, Richard Hughes. People will be held to court. They will.
But it's always going to be the manager. I mean, do you think, Stephen, he's the one to turn it around?
I knew you were going to ask me that. I was going to say the buck always stops with the manager. Ultimately, that's just the way it is in modern day football. I'm really glad you mentioned the recruitment, because the recruitment plays a part. Were they all his signings? Did he want all of them?
Yes.
Who knows what goes on behind closed doors? But ultimately, I do believe there's a little bit of credit still left in the bank, and rightly so after what he did last year. But being in 2025, heading into 2026, the way football is, I would say that he's going to have to get some results pretty quickly.
Yeah. Of course, that game is tomorrow against West Ham. All of the updates coming for you on TalkSport Villa. So no, that's a lie. Who are we playing tomorrow? Who have they got tomorrow? Liverpool? Oh yeah, West Ham against Liverpool tomorrow.
Just talked about.
Let's talk about tonight as well. My bad. Spurs taking on Fulham, 8 o'clock tonight. I mean, midweek, another letdown there. Do you think Thomas Frank is under a bit of pressure now, Stephen?
I hope not. I mean, I've seen Spurs this season quite a lot, and I think that one thing they are lacking is consistency. You've said Liverpool been consistently bad. I wouldn't say Tottenham have been consistently bad. I think I watched them away to Man City early on this season, and they were absolutely outstanding. Probably the best performance I've seen from Spurs for a long time. However, I mean, similar to Liverpool, they do concede some really soft goals, away during the week to PSG. Okay, some of Vitinha's goals were outstanding, but some of the goals were almost gifts. And I think if you go away to PSG and score 3 goals, you're hoping to come away with something. So that performance was much better than the Arsenal one. The Arsenal one, looking at it from a tactical point of view, they went there to sit back. It didn't work. Arsenal ran all over them. However, the PSG game, they were a lot more aggressive, and they looked more like the Spurs that I want to see. And I think it suited the players more playing in that style.
Well, it was 2 extraordinary different performances. The one against Arsenal, which was quite negative, and obviously come out of 4-1 defeat, but an optimistic way of playing against PSG, but come away with a 5-3 defeat. Everyone knows what Spurs fans want. They want to be entertained. From the Hoddle days to Hazard and many others that they've had, Chrissy Waddle, Tottenham have been a team that have to be on the front foot playing. You cannot be defensive, coach, at Spurs. You just can't. I just don't think it works. They've got to find that middle ground somehow.
They do, and I think that's what Thomas Frank will be desperately searching for, because, as I said, he's got something there with the team. I've seen that. Again, a lot of new signings there as well at Spurs. Daniel Levy leaving behind the scenes. So there has been change, and a lot of things that he's had to deal with, especially coming into that, I think, a difficult environment with Ange leaving, because some were Ange in, some were Ange out. So it's quite difficult for him to walk in. But he's shown enough for me to have faith in him. And on top of that, he's a lovely guy. So I believe he'll do well.
Just briefly, you've finished with the Icelandic team, yeah?
Yeah, I was just there yesterday packing up my stuff, and I've headed back. Yeah.
So what's on the plan for you?
Good question. My family are asking me the same thing. So I don't know. The life of a footballer now / football coach. It's waiting for offers, seeing what comes next. I've had a couple of conversations already, but it's wherever the wind takes me. I'm really open. I have sort of like a 10-year plan in my mind to end up back in the Premier League. How I get there over the next 10 years remains to be seen. I'm definitely committed, and I love the coaching side of it. I love learning. So.
So you're quite young to retire at 33.
I am. I'm 34
you just felt
next month. I felt there was time. I felt there was time. Okay. I sort of lost the passion over the last couple of years for the playing side of it, and developed a newfound passion for coaching. And I've gone and done my B license, my A license as well. Good. Starting to look to do my pro license next summer, and I just enjoy it. I just wanted to do something I'm passionate about, and coaching is certainly that.
Yeah. Well, we've got you as well. Can we ask you about England and your thoughts on Jude Bellingham, etc., in the World Cup?
Yeah, I was talking about this last week with Jermaine Pennant and Natalie Sawyer. For me, it's a crazy conversation to be had around Jude, like how we even discuss it, if he should be on the plane or shouldn't be on the plane. For me, he's on the plane. Definitely on the plane.
He's in the cockpit. Guys,
he's in England's starting 11. He's an outstanding player. Yes, he's got a little bit of personality, but that's what I want to see.
That's what you want.
That's what I want to see.
You need characters, you need personality. Everything's so stale and boring these days.
No, he's a top player. I mean, you only have to look at who he's played for, how well he's played, not only at Dortmund, for England, for Madrid. I think the Tuchel thing is quite interesting. I just think Tuchel thinks there's more in him.
Yeah. I think so.
And that is his drive to try and get more out of Jude. And that's not saying Jude's not doing enough, because he is. He's got everything. Yeah. Size, stature, pace, eye for a goal. He's got all of that about him.
Listen, Steven, thank you so much for coming in today. It's been a pleasure to talk to you. Good luck for what's to come.
My pleasure. Thank you much. Enjoy the racing.
Any Barry White before you go?
No, unfortunately not.
We will get him. We'll get him at some point. You're listening to the Weekend Breakfast here, live on TalkSport from Newbury Racecourse. It's going to be a stunning day of racing ahead for you. We'll give it all the details very, very soon, and coming up for you very soon on the show, former Newcastle and Sunderland midfielder Jack Colback will be with us as well. Morning.
welcome to TalkSport Goals. We're taking you through what should be another busy day of football.
Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology.
How did you get to that conclusion? That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
Good morning, welcome along to the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on TalkSport. We're live from Newbury Racecourse at Shebahn Aherne Tony Cascarino. Return of the back by Leicester's finest Mark Morrison. Why are we playing this? Cass, wait for this story, it's in the papers today. A widow lost thousands and thousands when she was duped into believing that she was in a relationship with film hunk Jason Momoa.
Right.
How do these people think this is happening?
Oh.
How are they still doing this, sending people money who they think they're with and they've never met them?
I don't know. You need to, check yourself out on that one, don't
Check
you?
yourself. I think that's pretty nice to put it. Delete social media and never go back on it again. Have you ever been catfished before?
Not as far as I know.
Yeah.
You asking to a man?
Yeah, if you get catfish now, I think you'll be in trouble with the current wife. Time now to get the latest odds with Coral.
The Coral Daily Download on TalkSport. Brought to you by Coral, the home of the free-to-play Golden Rewards Shaker. 18 plus max one reward per player per selected Shaker day. 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Restrictions and T's and C's apply. Gambleaware.org.
And Coral's Dave Stevens is with us live in the house here at Newbury Racecourse. Hello.
Good morning, Shebahn. Morning, Cass. Great to see you here.
Nice to see you.
Just looking out behind us, the weather is lively.
The weather is weather.
Yeah, but the forecast is greater for later. So listen, if you're in two minds, I don't know if it's a sellout or not today. Actually, that's terrible. I'll find out for the next lot. But it's going to be a fantastic day here. The Coral Gold Cup, £250,000. We've got a maximum field of 24, as we should. It's a fiercely competitive. I was just talking to Daryl Jacob, the ex-top jockey. I said, give me a tip. He said, look, I could give you 10 tips and we might not get the winner. That's how competitive this race is. The market's headed, though, by Mayertown, trained in Scotland by Lucinda Russell and Michael Scudamore. Won at the Cheltenham Festival when we last saw this horse. 9-2 favourite, but loads of opposition, as you'd expect. Resplendent Grey for the champion jockey Sean Bowen. The changing man for Joe Tizard. Willie Mullins himself, the Irish maestro, brings over 4 as he bids to get his sort of season on this side of the Irish Channel underway. Blizzard of Oz, who Daryl Jacob actually represents the owners of that. And Daryl said, look, if this horse can get into a rhythm, it'll start jumping round. He would have a chance. There are loads in with a shout here. My advice is don't be put off, if you fancy anything in the Coral Gold Cup.
Value, obviously 24 runners, 24 in the race, so a little bit of value on maybe trying to pick the sort of 10 to 1, 12
Absolutely.
to 1. Yeah.
There are, like I say, the Doyen Chief is a horse you could back each way. Spanish Harlem, another one. Honestly, there are loads in there. This is almost a throwback. This race always used to have big fields like this. Then in recent years, for whatever reason, it just sort of slipped a little bit and we were getting 12, 14 runners. None of that today. Going to be running, pretty testing conditions, I'm guessing, by the time the race comes around. I don't know how much more rain we're due, but look behind us, the Christmas lights are on, Cass. Yes. Are you feeling festive yet, Cass?
Yeah, well, I did this last year, and it was festive last year, so it was good. I mean, it's a lovely day, isn't it? It feels like, one of the traditional days in racing.
It is. It absolutely is.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's one of the big days in the jumping calendar, particularly. I'd say there'd be a great atmosphere here
Well,
today.
there was Irish fans in the hotel we was at last night, so they were in there. there. Well, there was a good few in there last night.
That was lively then.
Well, no, it wasn't too bad. It was okay, but it probably more.
Did they ask for their picture?
No, just a couple of shake hands.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Talking about that, we've actually got Paddy Kenny as well, the former Ireland keeper, coming today. He's going to do a bit of fun with us. We've got some activations here as well. So, yeah, look, it's going to be... We've Coral, we've called this the start of the festive season, this meeting now. So, I don't know about... Where are you on Christmas songs, Shebahn?
Got to be now. Go for it now. If today's the start of Christmas, Dave...
So
what do you mean, where are we now?
Well, will you listen to Christmas songs
music
on the radio?
Yeah, of course, why not?
Well, because it's not December yet. December the 1st was always my cut-off. My other half has been listening to Christmas songs since about September. If we're in the car together, there's always an argument.
She's probably very happy.
Well, this is what they say. The earlier you celebrate...
Of course she's happy.
Yeah, she's so happy. No wonder she's got the Christmas tunes on in September, Dave.
Newly married, you're
my point is, by the time December comes around, I'm going to be sick of Christmas songs. Anyway, I completely digress.
No, you can do it. It's fine.
That's the rating. Huge day of football as well, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Cass, I want to start with a question, and you tell me if I am completely barking up the wrong tree. Arsenal are favourites for the title.
Yeah.
No surprise there. It's 5-2 on. Manchester City are 132nd favourites. Chelsea are 14 to 1/3 favourites. Isn't there a case for saying Chelsea are a closer challenger to Arsenal this season than Manchester City? Am I genuinely...
Well, I'm going to come from value, right? Because that's how I always look at betting, is the value and the price. And if you said to me the team on form after Arsenal, I'd say Aston Villa.
Well,
right? Now, what price are Aston Villa?
They're 150 to 1 for the title.
No, not for the title, but for second spot. Or to be second behind Arsenal. I think Arsenal will win that. Well, I think I've been saying it all season, so there's nothing new. But for that second spot, the nearest challengers, I would say Villa.
Okay, that's
I'd say Chelsea. They're all pretty, but I would imagine that Villa were the best value.
Yeah, well, yeah, we haven't got that price, but I mean they're 11 to 2 for top four. I'm guessing to finish runners up, they'd be about 20 to 1. I'm guessing. So,
Villa, look at Villa's form from the start of the season, where they were quite indifferent, couldn't get a goal, and you look at their form of the last 2 months certainly. Villa have been absolutely flying.
Yeah,
and they're getting goals, and they're doing it even without Ollie Watkins now, who's sometimes not playing. You know, with European football and Premier League football. I've been really shocked how quickly Unai Emery turned it around. Very difficult start to the season.
And aside from Arsenal, no other teams are putting together that consistency, are they? Pulling clear. I also want to ask you, Kaz, are you worried about Liverpool even finishing in the top 4 this season? They're still odds on, 7-4 on.
There's nothing to suggest they can make the top 4 so far from what I've seen. If I'm going on evidence of what I've witnessed this year, there's no way I can see Liverpool being top 4.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know it can change.
That's an honest assessment, isn't it?
Well, no, but you're looking for reasons. You've got to give a reason why. Everybody's out of form. It's not one player. It's everybody's out of form, except for Dominic Szoboszlai. After that, everyone's playing way
he's generally playing out of position, isn't he? Which is one of look, we'll have a look at some of the other games quickly, but I mean, Man City are odds on 2-7 to beat Leeds, having said they shouldn't be second favourites. And there's loads of close games. I mean, Sunderland versus Bournemouth is really, really close. Bournemouth actually favourites travelling away from home, which surprises me. And a similar story. Newcastle are favourites to win at Everton. And Everton at home their home record's great. And Newcastle's away record isn't the best. So some fascinating games, which we got to look forward to alongside the racing. Yeah.
Dave, you're with us a little bit later on to look at some of the tips today. Can you ask someone to turn the lights on outside? Turn the rain off as well. That'd be great. That was a look at the latest odds with the Coral. 18+ BeGambleAware.org. Please gamble responsibly.
The Coral Daily Download on TalkSport. Brought to you by Coral, the home of a free-to-play Golden Rewards Shaker. 18+ max 1 reward per player per selected Shaker day. 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Restrictions and T's and C's apply. GambleAware.org.
You're listening to the Weekend Breakfast here on TalkSport. We're live from Newbury Racecourse today and joined by former Sunderland and Newcastle midfielder Jack Colback next.
It's the most
wonderful time of the year. Good morning. Welcome to the Weekend Breakfast on TalkSport. We're live from Newbury Racecourse. Dave Stevens said it's officially Christmas in September. If you're his wife, you say that. But yeah, you can crank up the Christmas tunes now.
Just by the way, is that Andy Williams singing that?
Yeah.
I thought it was.
Yeah.
He had a voice, he did.
He got a great voice, actually. I can't believe Steven Caulker's voice, by the way.
Yeah.
He needs to get a job doing voiceovers if he's not going to go into the coaching.
Yes.
I know he wants the coaching, but voiceover work be fine. He'll get absolutely fine. By the way, Virgin Radio Christmas is available now. You can swipe over on the TalkSport app to Virgin Radio Christmas, but stay with us for now. Here's what's coming up for you on TalkSport today. 10 o'clock, it's Max Rushton and Charlie Baker all the way through to 1 o'clock in the warm-up. Adrian Durham with you on Game Day Live, going all around the grounds with all the football from the Premier League, the EFL and beyond. That's at 1 o'clock. You've got 2 live games over on TalkSport 2. Stoke take on Hull at 12:30. Coventry take on Charlton at 3 o'clock. 5:30, the Game Day phone-in with the wind-up merchant that is Jamie O'Hara. He'll be with you taking your calls. And then 7:30, we've got commentary from the Premier League. Tottenham Hotspur take on Fulham, and kick-off is at 8, and then you've got the Sports Bar Weekender taking your calls from 10 o'clock. All coming up here on TalkSport today. We're live from Newbury Racecourse. It's just kind of brightening up, isn't it, Cass? When I say it's brightening up, it's still dark.
It still looks grim to me. I'm not going to lie, it looks pretty grim and dark. What do you want me to...
I don't know.
Oh, it's wonderful.
We get some floodlights out here or something, but the horses are just getting up.
We're feeding the horses in 5 minutes.
Yes, everybody's happy here. We're in for a great day of racing. You've got the Gold Cup at 2:55 as well. We'll build up to that very, very soon. And we're joined here in Newbury by a man who took the incredibly brave decision from moving to Sunderland to Newcastle. And he loves an absolute cracker of a volley. It's this guy.
Here's Surridge, gets to the byline, pulls it back. Great save from the keeper, but the follow-up is tucked in by Jack Colback.
Perez gives it on to Overton, in towards the penalty spot. Touch back to Colback, left-footed shot! Maybe just kisses the far post, but a moment of quality. Colback gets his shot away, and he gets it into the back of the net.
Jack Colback with us now at Newbury. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Hi, Jack. You okay? Hi. Well, that is 2 teams to play for, Newcastle and Sunderland, and you started in Sunderland, didn't you?
I did, yes. As a young boy, I went when I was 10, 11 years old. Was always one of them. My dad wasn't kind of massive on Newcastle fan or pushing me to go to Newcastle, which many people would around that area, but the Sunderland academy and training set up at that stage was really good.
So who would have been in charge at that particular time? Manager come the owner of the football club?
I think the manager when I first went was Peter Reid.
Right, yeah.
I remember going for a little day and having a look, and I met him and I was so nervous as a little boy, and the setup and everything was just really good, and really enjoyed my time there.
Yeah. And you ended up playing in the black and white shirt anyway.
Yeah, I did. Obviously not one.
Was that tricky for you? Because obviously, from what I know and what I mean, they accepted you. They did, yes, you played for Sunderland, but there was that, when you started playing and playing well, obviously fans accept you and think, well, yeah, he's given his all for us.
Yeah, I think that's what it's all about, really, is how you perform. I knew it was a tough move to make. It was the hard one, I suppose, but I think it shows a lot of courage and bravery to do it. Mm-hmm. It was always one of them. I wanted to stay at Sunderland. I was speaking to my agent at the time, and I said I just wanted to feel valued, and kind of the offers I was getting from them, it wasn't giving me that feeling. It was more still when you come through as a young boy, you kind of get incentive contracts and appearance fees and all that. Yeah. And I felt like I'd passed that. I was 24. I was playing a lot in the Premier League, and it kind of still came across that way. So at that stage, you start having a look at what else is out there, and Newcastle came in and just got to the stage where I thought, I can't not do it.
Yeah.
Tell us about the great escape, the Sunderland, and who was your centre forward in 13-14 that got you loads of goals and got injured and was at Palace and never got going again?
Connor Wickham.
Connor Wickham, that was it. I was trying to think of it. That was that time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because he got goals in that running, didn't he?
He did. I think he scored maybe 4 in 5. and big goals as well. He scored, I remember, away at Chelsea.
Yeah.
We beat Chelsea 2-1. I think that's one thing I always think is when people talk about great escapes and stuff, that one never seems to get a mention, but we were, I think, 6 or 7 points adrift, and we had Man U away, Chelsea away, Man City away. So that for me was a remarkable achievement. And Connor just came into form, and it was an unbelievable experience, really.
Yeah. That must have been. So that was under Gus Poyet, wasn't it? Was it Gus Poyet?
Yeah, it was Gus, yeah. So we started the season with Paolo Di Canio, which was interesting.
Come on, tell us what Paolo was like.
Look, he was just...
I'm sure he was brilliant in lots of ways, but...
He was. When he joined in training, he was the best player. He was unbelievable.
Was he really? Did he?
Honestly,
Getting about it?
Unbelievable. We'd do
Overhead scissor kicks.
We'd have the 11v11s and stuff, or 11 versus no one, kind of the pre-match tactics and stuff, and he'd be the one against us, and he'd receive the ball, and lads would go and close him down. He'd be chopping them, he'd be crifing them. You're scratching your head thinking this guy's unbelievable, but I think he's setting his ways in terms of management, and it was a difficult environment to be in. Very much.
Did he ban ketchup? Is that true?
Yeah, he did.
He did, yeah.
But I think that's not a major thing these days.
A lot of managers seem to do that.
Yeah, I think it's trying to get every detail out of anything, really. But I think it was more, we weren't allowed music on in the training ground.
That's too strict,
yeah,
Jack.
it was a lot. It was a lot. And listen,
you need atmosphere within a club, don't you? And between the lads, and you need that. I think it's very hard when it gets so strict and regimented.
It is, and I think because when he first came in, we were winning games. You kind of
stuck to that.
Yeah, you look past that and you get on with it because it's so important. But when the going gets tough and you start losing games, and it's not a nice place to come in and train and your day-to-day work, then there was no surprise it didn't work out.
Yeah, not only has he banned the tunes, he's banned the ketchup. There's no upside here at training. What a nightmare.
No, I tell you what, fizzy drinks were absolute no-no when I was abroad. You couldn't have a fizzy drink. If they see you having a fizzy drink, they'd literally snatch it out of your hands, the coaches. So lads would sneaky... Well, you know what it's like. They go to the petrol garage after training, they might have some... they do. We would all pretend, but loads of lads would leave the training ground and you'd see the car picking up and they'd be coming out with a few bags of sweets in there. That's what lads did at that time.
Yeah, I think you get on the bus after a game and it's like you get given your box of pasta, and you're thinking, I've just ate that for the past 3 days. But the lads get home and probably have a pizza or a Chinese or something. So.
Definitely. Can we talk about current Sunderland then? I mean, how impressed are you so far this season?
Yeah, it's remarkable really what they're doing. Obviously getting promoted last season, and the season before we saw what happened to the 3 promoted clubs, and it was a real struggle. But in terms of where they are in the league, I think the home forms really helped them with that. I think they're unbeaten at home at the Stadium of Light, and
but the Arsenal game was a big one, wasn't it?
Yeah, huge.
They really played well against Arsenal.
Yeah, huge. And I think what I noticed from playing against them last season was that defensively they were really good. Yeah. And I know, obviously, coming into this league, it's a different level.
The lad, Dan Ballard, he's done brilliant, hasn't he?
He has.
Old-fashioned type, but gets on the ball and he can play it and spray it around.
And I think a lot of it's confidence. If you come into the league and you start well, which they have done, then it builds confidence. And you look at obviously your Leeds and Burnley, and they're struggling a bit. And I think when you're struggling in this league, you kind of pre-match analysis on a Friday. You look at every game you're going to play in every team. You think, it's going to be tough. Whereas for Sunderland, they've started well. And it's good. It's a great club. Fan base is amazing, and they're showing that.
I'm looking forward to actually that first derby in the Premier League, since the 2 of them are back in there on the 14th of December, Sunderland Newcastle. You've played in that game, in that fixture before. What's it like?
It's special, I think. I just hope it's the same feeling now as what it was when I was playing. I think obviously the more football changes now and stuff, you can maybe lose that passion for the game and what it really means to the fans. Because it was a game like no other.
Yeah.
The build-up was 3-4 weeks, and then the week of the game, it was every day. You know, we have to win.
Yeah.
And I was doing well in derbies until I signed for Newcastle, and I don't think I won one after that. So I'd back Sunderland, to be honest.
Okay, Jack, you're staying with us for the next section as well. We need to talk about your other teams that you played for as well, including Nottingham Forest. Do you like the races? Are you here for the day? Are you going to take it all in?
I don't mind it.
Do you like this weather?
It's not the best.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Driving in, I ended up on the pretty much on the course.
This is sunny in Sunderland.
Yeah, it is. It's lovely, yeah. T-shirt weather.
It is glorious today at Newbury Racecourse. You've got a full day of action ahead, including the Gold Cup at 2:55. We'll build up to that across the morning. And more from Jack Colback next. This is the Weekend Breakfast here on TalkSport.
Hello and welcome to TalkSport Goals. We're taking you through what should be another busy day of football.
Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology.
How would you get to that conclusion? That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
Good morning to you. This is the Weekend Sports Breakfast, live for you here on TalkSport from Newbury Racecourse today. Shebahn Aherne and former Chelsea striker Tony Cascarino with you today. We're here until 10 o'clock, taking in all of the racing action. Christmas starts now, Cass. We've declared it.
Yeah, well, you have.
Yeah.
I'm actually getting more positive about Christmas than normal years because this year's been a really good year. You know, for many different reasons.
What, like your face now? Right.
Tell that to me face.
Let it know. And then come back to us.
I'm on a crest of a slump. That's what I'm on.
It's nearly your holiday. Right, it's time now for this.
Step up to the Oki and win on TalkSport.
This is brilliant, and actually Christmas will start at TalkSport on Wednesday the 10th of December in London, because it's our third year in a row we're doing our TalkSport Darts. It's gone up a level. It's now TalkSport's Darts Presenter Trophy 2025. 8 of TalkSport's finest going head to head in the BDC World Darts Championship kickoff. This year we're giving you the chance to be there as well. You and a friend could be there. You can't buy your way into this event. You've got 2 seats, 2 insider passes to tell your TalkSport presenters exactly what you think about them to their faces. Jamie O'Hara will be there, so you can be there too. Natalie Sawyer taking on Darren Bent again. For me, that is the draw we need to look out for, because bearing in mind, Darren Bent had a coach last year. He had about 7 different sets of darts with him.
Darren actually says that he had a mate that helped him.
I know.
It's not an actual coach. That's been exaggerated.
Well, you know, we can twist it. Don't
lying.
let the truth spoil a good story, Cass. And then Natalie rocked up in her high heels that day and put him out in the first round. It was absolutely magic. They're going to go head to head again Wednesday the 10th of December. You could be there. We're also going to send you to the darts, the opening day, the PDC World Darts Championship as well. 2 nights stay in a hotel and £2,500 to play with as well. It's good fun, great for Christmas. For your chance to win, text the word WIN to 83338. Texts are £2 plus your standard network rate, or you can call 0343 423 9761. Lines close 4 o'clock next Thursday. That's when you need to answer your phone by, if it rings that day. 18 plus, UK excluding Northern Ireland. So for your chance to win, text the word WIN to 83338 now and get involved here with TalkSport. This is a network promotion. Full terms and conditions are at talksport.com. Good luck to you. We're live from Newbury Racecourse today. Former Sunderland and Newcastle midfielder Jack Colback is with us as well. Jack, good to have you with us.
I want to ask Jack this, because Jack is really incredibly consistent, because I'm looking for your appearances and your goals, and you always got 3, 4 or 5 in every club you play for. And it's a similar amount of appearances for like Nottingham Forest, QPR, Ipswich.
Yeah, I'm sure I was probably trying to get more casts, to be honest.
But your numbers are really the same everywhere.
Yeah, I think it's one of them.
Which is rare.
Yeah, consistency. You know, you can't buy that these days, can you? So,
you can't.
No, I think
you got goal of the season twice, though.
Yeah, I always say, you
good
know,
goals.
I keep myself for the
big
proper
occasion.
ones. Yeah. You know, but no, I think.
So tell us a bit about Forest, QPR, Ipswich on loan. Tell us a bit about them experiences.
Yeah, Ipswich. So that was my first kind of experience in first team football. Roy Keane took me there. He was the son of my.
That'd have been interesting.
It was. Roy's a great guy, though. I loved it. Off the pitch, he's such good fun, and I think it's just for him. He played at such a high level, and his demands on himself were so high that I think, especially in Ipswich, he'd kind of see lads not really doing that, and he couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
And he probably struggled at times with how much it would work him up. But no, Roy was a great guy. He was great for me.
What was it he saw in you? Did he ever tell you what?
Well, midfielder, that you were, the type of midfielder you were.
Maybe the tenacity.
Yeah.
Obviously, when he was at Sunderland, I would have been training with the first team, and it's kind of one of them. You go there and you've got to show a bit. Even though inside I was probably so scared and so nervous, but he took me there, gave me my first opportunity, and he used to join in training as well. And
another one.
Yeah, he played in the midfield, and it's one of them. I'd be playing 1-2 touch. But no, it was great to have him. He was almost like a father figure, really.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was
Forest. That Forest.
Forest was just the ending of Forest. Obviously, I was there for probably 5 years, and it started off pretty average, really. I went there from Newcastle in the hope to be promoted. Didn't quite work out. Then obviously the season we got promoted when Steve Cooper came in. It was just a remarkable season, a surreal experience, really. It's hard to describe. I always say in your career of maybe 15, 20 years, at my level certainly, you probably count on one hand how many special moments you have, and that was one. To come from where we were, bottom of the league, I think, when Steve came in, and then to get promoted and to do it at Wembley as well was just so special, and something money can't buy, that feeling.
Yeah.
Of all the clubs that you've played at, what's been your standout moment for you, or your personal highlight?
I'd probably say Forest. I think just everything about it. I think the environment Steve created there, he got in touch with the fans. Everyone was on board. Everyone was pulling in the same direction. And like I say, I think because it was never expected of us that season to then do it, to do it how we did, I've got a lot of respect for Steve and Tatey and the rest of the staff there. And I think we created bonds that, will never be broken, really.
So you're 36 now. What's your pathway, do you think? You still want to stay in football?
Yeah, potentially. I've been looking at doing my badges.
Right.
So it was something I never really wanted to do when I was playing. We got offered kind of sessions in the afternoon, and I thought, I can't really be bothered, I'd rather just go home. But since I've been out of the game and not playing, it's a real miss.
Yeah. You're doing Bowler League as well, aren't you?
Yeah, that's interesting.
It must be fun though.
It is. It's that's what it's about, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what is the? I mean, I'm really ignorant on this, so you'll have to educate me on the Bowler League, because I guess what it's about. It's all about your technical skills, no? Or is it much more than that?
I think it's a mix, really. I think you kind of get a mixture of lower league players playing, but they're playing on a Saturday and a Tuesday, so they're quite fit, really.
Yeah.
I think that's one thing I underestimated. I went in there, I hadn't kicked a ball for 6 months, done very little exercise, and 3 minutes in, I was absolutely blown.
And it gets so competitive. I mean,
it is.
These players are up for it.
It's good fun, and it's that showbiz, and there's some interesting characters kicking about, all the YouTube stuff and that, but it is competitive, and lads want to do well. And obviously the team I was in, you've got Jens Lehmann and Robert Pires, and Jens Jens wants to win. He's proper on it.
We need to get you in it, Cass.
Nah.
Jack or no guy?
No.
Fun.
I wouldn't even. I mean, in France they used to do the beach football, didn't they? And they were really good. I had a number of players. A lot of French players did that, and they went and played all different tournaments all around Europe and even further afield.
Bowler League is massive. You're part of it, Deport Trio, and you're a wild card, right? A wild card, so you might be playing.
I was an NF5.
Oh, I said the wrong team.
Yeah, I might have said the wrong team.
But you're with
well.
Micah Richards and Dan Sturridge, right?
No, Jens Lehmann.
Brilliant.
And Robert Pires.
Brilliant. Lovely. I'm a good listener.
Good research.
Jack's just done me dirty. Jack, thank you so much for coming on today. It's been a pleasure to have you here. And let's enjoy some racing later on.
Yes, thanks for having me.
And
Cheers,
good luck
Jack.
for what's
Pleasure.
to come as well.
Yeah.
Good luck not with Micah Richards and Dan Sturridge in Bowler League. You can look out for Jack. Always a pleasure to have you here at TalkSport. We're at Newbury Racecourse today. Gold Cup coming up at 2:55. We're going to build up to all of that with ITV racing presenter Ed Chamberlain later on in the show, and shortly joined by Jody Morris to look ahead to tomorrow's massive game between Chelsea and Arsenal. It's the Weekend Breakfast here on TalkSport.
years, we've been treated to some amazing exhibition events in sports. Some become iconic, but many fail to live up to the hype. So what are some of the most anticlimactic exhibitions? Technically, it wasn't an exhibition because it ended up being sanctioned as a pro fight, but it basically was. 2024 saw Mike Tyson return to the ring to fight YouTuber Jake Paul. The event, which Paul won, was streamed by 65 million people on Netflix, making it the most streamed sporting event ever at the time. But many complained of buffering and freezing. And as for the fight itself, well, it was considered an entertaining disaster. I mean, it wasn't prime Tyson. He was 58. And after the fight, Paul, who was 27 at the time, said he'd actually gone easy on Tyson towards the end. Now, Mayweather-McGregor in 2017 was a better watch, despite Mayweather going rope-a-dope early on, but it was way too expensive. Pay-per-view was 75 quid. And in the stadium, the cheapest ticket was over 370. Now, this next one you could have watched for free, only because the pay-per-view had streaming issues, so they had to open it out. I'm talking about Tiger versus Phil in 2018, which was nicknamed The Match. Massive names and massive rivals going head-to-head. On paper, it worked. In reality, it didn't. The two players were mic'd up, so we all thought, we'll get fascinating insight. We'll be able to hear them insult each other for 18 holes. But what we actually got was more heavy breathing and sniffles. And for two GOATs, the golf itself was bang average. And speaking of GOATs, let's end with Messi and Ronaldo. In 2023, an exhibition between PSG and the Riyadh All-Star 11 saw them share a pitch for possibly the final time. To be fair, it was a goal fest, which PSG won 5-4, and Messi and Ronaldo both scored. But it was obvious they were past their prime. El Clasico, this was not. And with it being in Saudi, there were more sports washing claims. So there you have it. Exhibitions that have let us down. And I didn't even have time to mention the Community Shield.
Good morning. You're listening to the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on TalkSport. Shebahn Aherne alongside former Chelsea and Villa striker Tony Cascarino.
I keep talking.
You're live. Cash, you're live.
Sorry. Sorry for
morning.
interrupting while you were talking.
It's fine. Happens all the time. Story of my life. Manchester City are aiming to get their title charge back on track. They host Leeds.
Guardiola won't want to leave, but is he ever going to get back to the heights that he got to, where they won the treble? I don't think so. What's the chase now?
Updates coming for you today. Man City against Leeds, 3 o'clock. The updates here on GameDay Live. Simon Jordan seemingly not a believer that City can get back on track. Can they catch Arsenal in the title race? Meanwhile, Spurs welcome Fulham. They'll look to bounce back from their North London derby. Humbling last weekend.
I must admit, I think the key thing for us is just to focus on us. What can we do? How is it we want to attack? How do we want to defend? How is it we want to perform? Just only focus on that, and then the rest will take care of itself.
Thomas Frank there. We'll see what's up his sleeve this evening. It's live on TalkSport from 8 o'clock. And today we're live at Newbury races for the Coral Gold Cup, the feature race at 2:55. We are building up to a massive day of racing.
Javelin Chef has nothing more to offer. Can Do Kid dribble out, idling in front, but Can Do Kid for Harry Cobden and Paul Nicholls won the Coral Gold Cup.
7 races ahead. The Coral Gold Cup at 2:55, plus lots of football coming up for you today here on the TalkSport Network. You're listening to the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on TalkSport. Good morning. So Gold Cup Day at Coral. We're at Newbury Racecourse. Myself and Cass just behind us. It's peddling down with rain. I think that's just the best way to say it. Bring your brolly if you're coming to the racing today. But you're in for an absolute cracker. 7 brilliant races. The festive feel is here. The horses are starting to kind of come out to go for a wee warm-up, as we would say, Cass. We're just at the ring parade area.
Yeah.
In the Ribchester box with Coral today. I'm very pleased to say we're in the company of racing royalty.
Oh, I don't know about that.
From ITV, Ed Chamberlain. You are racing royalty, you really are.
I'm not sure.
Sorry, I like to make it awkward.
No, I'm delighted. That's one of the best intros I've ever had, actually. You're very kind.
Racing royalty?
I don't think racing would see it like that. They see me as an imposter from football, I think, really. But I love what I do. And this is a very special place on a day like this. This was the place I used to go when I was 14, 15 and 16. This was the best party of the year, Shebahn. This was a sensational place to come. And it's got a bit of that magic back now. The Coral team and Newbury and Sean Hines, the boss here, have worked really hard on it. And the crowd today is going to be fantastic. It's going to stop raining.
Yeah.
So I would like people to stay at home and watch telly as well and listen to TalkSport, but it's going to stop raining and it's just going to be a really good day.
Yeah. Good. But that's good, because I was an umbrella and I didn't want to be the one.
You'll be fine, Cass. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Don't worry about it.
At some point, Cass is going to put on that tie that he's had sat on the desk for the last 3 years.
I lost it, didn't I? I lost it earlier.
He lost his tie earlier on, Ed, and then the lads had it on him.
We used to work together, but I don't ever remember seeing you in a tie.
No. Only weddings, but I wore 3 ties. So
they're unlucky for him.
So I'm not really that keen on ties. I was going to say, Ed, obviously I'd go back a long way with your the football that you first started with, but you're always, and I'd say it was your ultimate passion, but I always was aware that racing was just so in you.
Yeah, because it's where I started out, really. I can mention Ladbrokes on here without Steve going nuts, because they are sisters, brothers.
He's giving you daggers.
That's where I started. You know, that was my grounding. That was my first job, and that's what I thought I was going to do. And you know how it works. Careers take you in different paths. But I was a racing odds compiler originally, not a very good one. But racing was work. Southampton was always my passion growing up, if I'm brutally honest. So it slightly depends where I'm being interviewed. I say football sometimes, I say racing other times. But
You're only a fan again now because they started winning. What's happened to Southampton?
It's good, isn't it?
It's unbelievable.
It's good.
How does this work?
You know, football. I mean, you've got to feel sorry for Will still, because it didn't work out for him. And Tonda we trust. I mean, it was unbelievable because we were in a bad place, really bad place. Confidence obviously was on the floor. And now all of a sudden, got lots of mates heading to Millwall with great hope this afternoon, which is an amazing turnaround.
I find football extraordinary from management perspective, because you could look at nearly everybody's career and everybody has failure, and then your flavour of the month. And it's like being a manager now of a football club just feels impossible.
It's just those margins, isn't it? Look at Arne Slot at Liverpool. They're only just off it, and look at the damage it's doing. At Southampton, not a lot's changed, really. It's the same personnel, the odd tweak, and the margins are so fine that all of a sudden we're flying.
Yeah. Strange, though, in terms of how it happened so quickly with Southampton, with him still being part of his staff and him still staying, and then just instantly turning around. It makes you think was Will too stubborn. The whole time was he not? I don't know. I don't know how it works out.
I remember when I was at Celtic with Liam Brady, and I left to go to Chelsea, and I'd struggled to get goals, and he said, I knew you were going to score on your debut at Chelsea, because you couldn't, and I scored on my debut.
Yeah.
And it was like...
Did that change you like that? You're off and running?
Not really. I had quite a few knee injuries at Chelsea, but it sort of got me going by the end of my time there. But I just find management extraordinary, because I see so many people in the game that can do a great job, and for whatever reason it hasn't worked.
And I hope Will Still's a good guy.
Yeah,
he'll be back. I'm sure he'll be back, and
hopefully
maybe get a better fit elsewhere, I suppose.
I'm glad you're with us this morning, Ed, because we wanted to talk about the budget, because there was huge worry around the racing industry that it was going to be affected by the budget on Wednesday, but it turned out okay. It was a bit more positive than what was expected.
Yes and no. Yes and no. I got a lot of texts on Wednesday going, what great news. And I'm like, not really.
Why is it bad?
No, it's...
Because racing stayed the same, but elsewhere. And I encourage people to look back what we did on the show on ITV yesterday and listen to Simon Clare. He spoke like a real statesman for the bookmaking industry. We also heard from the BHA, we heard from the government, and then Richard Hoyles, who's our commentator, who's just an absolute sage, full of common sense, which isn't very common in this sport, if I'm honest. And he sums it up beautifully. So to simplify it for your listeners, we do for our viewers, it's good in the sense that racing got left alone, but the bookmakers have been hit elsewhere.
Right.
And if racing did make a mistake, and it's arguable whether it was the right thing to do or the wrong thing to do, they alienated the bookmaking division when it went to the government for Axe the Racing Tax, that campaign, left the bookmakers behind, if you like, and that didn't sit very well. So we're now in a situation where the bookmakers' profits are going to take a huge hit. No one was expecting to go up to 40% in the casino division, if you like, and that's going to affect racing because there's inevitably going to be cutbacks. Bookmakers have come out already saying what they're going to have to do, and that means the sponsorship, the marketing, the chances are it's going to take a big hit, and that will affect racing. But I just encourage everyone just to take a step back and let's just see the way it plays out.
There is a danger of prohibition on gambling, isn't there, where it literally underground is a real threat. People don't seem to
and that's what we've got to get on the front foot with. The black market's a real worry now.
Yeah,
that's what we've got.
And that's a way more dangerous market.
Yes, it's unregulated.
Yeah,
awful. Yeah, 100%.
How do you feel about it personally in the place that you're in just now with racing? Are you worried about its future?
Yeah, I always are, but I always have been as well. Racing seems to lurch from crisis to crisis, and yet potters on merrily. So. We've been in difficult situations before, and this is a really difficult one, and we need to work together through it. Because from an ITV point of view, it's going really well. Good. I mean, days like this, last weekend we're at Haydock, are unbelievably popular. Jump racing is incredibly popular. And this afternoon we've got the poster boy back in action up at Newcastle in Constitution Hill. He's the one horse that goes beyond racing, really. He's the one household name we've got in the sport at the minute. And the sport has got so much to be positive about, yet it does have that dark cloud hanging over it. But it sort of always does. I mean, you and I could have had this conversation 25 years ago and we say, oh, racing's in trouble and under threat, and always seems to come out the other side. So touch wood, we'll be okay.
Well, any chance of any tips or anything, Ed, or you're not going to...
It's a hell of a day, Cass, today, honestly. I mean, we come on air and straight to Newcastle for Constitution Hill against two young pretenders who are both unbeaten, Amsterdam and the New Lion, plus Golden Ace, who won that dramatic champion hurdle, are all going head-to-head at 2 o'clock this afternoon. That is a blockbuster race. And then here, we've got 24 runners in the Coral Gold Cup.
I saw that.
5 to 1 the field. Fantastic. Steve-O and Simon must be licking their lips. It's the perfect terrestrial television race. Cracking betting race. Lots of places. Town will go well. He will go well. The Changing Man's got an each-way chance. The bet of the day is General Medrano in the last race here, who was a baddie in James Bond.
Oh, right.
What do you mean? What,
a baddie, you know.
He was the bad guy.
General Medrano, not the horse himself.
No, the name.
I was like, what, the horse?
No, he'd be
was
quite
in
old,
James
I think.
Bond? God, yeah.
No.
Okay.
See, I'm old enough. I'm old enough to remember Jaws. Sorry. I remember Jaws, the baddie.
Yeah, it put some teeth in you in the cast. That could be a bit of freelance work for you.
I lost my two front teeth.
You could have replaced them with the big silver ones.
No.
Ed, thank you so much for coming on.
Lovely to see you guys. It's great to have you here.
ITV racing all day, right?
We're 1:30.
Okay,
1:30 to 4, and then you hope for good news when you turn on TalkSport in the car on the way home.
Yes.
Which recent weeks it has been, so
yeah. Touch wood. Ed Shebahn, what a pleasure to have you. Thank you. Good luck today. Let's hope it brightens up a little bit here at Newbury, but either way you've got a brilliant day of racing action ahead. Ed Chamberlain there from ITV. So the horse wasn't in James Bond. The horse wasn't right. You're listening to the Weekend Breakfast here on TalkSport. Coming up next, we'll be joined by former Chelsea midfielder Jody Morris next.
and welcome to TalkSport Goals. We're taking you through what should be another busy day of football.
Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology.
How would you get to that conclusion? That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
Rocking around the Christmas tree at the Christmas party hop. Mistletoe hung where you can see every couple tries to stop.
Good morning. This is the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on Talk Christmas.
I don't think I've spoke as much as I have ever in my life.
You're like the most popular guy on the planet.
I don't know about
today.
that. I'm just can't shut up.
Chinwag Central. You listen to the Weekend Breakfast. Shebahn Aherne and Tony Cascarino with you. Bit of Christmas music is fine now. We've decided it's absolutely fine. It's not December yet, but
no,
crack on. Don't be judged. Don't let anyone get the better of you. Listen up, by the way. You do not want to miss this. A driver heading across the pond to make America great again.
So we have a winner for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Canada, Mexico and USA have been selected.
USA runs the world in sports, so that's why we need this culture, you guys' culture, to continue to come over here.
We've been preparing for years, so I do feel that we are getting close to getting ready. I mean, the fact that the draw is happening in less than a month's time is very exciting.
Hey, I'm driving here.
Dust off your passports, pack your suitcases.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready for drive time.
Drive in the USA. Coming soon.
I'll drive, got us there quick.
Right, I don't trust that these two are going to make it to the USA. Darren Bent and Andy Goldstein bringing you 5 live shows from the US to get the party started ahead of the greatest show on earth next summer. They're going to New York City, then they're going to go to Washington, D.C. for the draw on the 5th to find out who the home nations will face at the World Cup in June. They'll be joined by a list of star-spangled guests, including Rio Ferdinand. Ali McCoist is going to be part of it as well, and so many more. So drive live from the USA next week from the 1st to the 5th of December. Don't forget, the draw is on the 5th. You do not want to miss that. Live for you here on TalkSport from the US of A. Right now, this morning we're at Newbury Racecourse. It's a wet morning, but it's a great day for racing. Gold Cup at 2:55. Cass, we're looking forward to that one.
Yep.
And here joined at Newbury by a man who made over 120 league appearances for Chelsea, won 4 major honours and loves a day at the racing as well. Jody Morris, good morning.
Good morning,
Jody.
How are you?
Very good.
Yeah.
I could do with the weather slowing down a little bit.
Yeah,
but
we can't control that bit of it, Jody, but otherwise you're going to have fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I've never been here before, so really looking forward to it.
It's a great day. I've done it a few times. You're going to enjoy it, Jody. Jody, you started as a 17-year-old playing at Chelsea. How many years? Was it 9 you were there? 8, 9? Something like that?
Yeah, I mean, I was there from as a kid,
yeah.
like a 9-year-old ball boy. And as I said, I remember the days when you came to the club, the good old days that we were just talking off air. But yeah, I was lucky enough to...
That was fun in the club then.
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, we were just touching on the training ground at Harleton, weren't we? In this weather, it was
never a training ground.
Yeah, special place to be. But thankfully, the club are in a much better place than what they were.
I joined the club and I spoke to Andy Townsend, Shebahn, before and I said to him, he said, go down the Arlington Road, and he said, the lads meet up in a caravan. And I said, all right, for breakfast. And he went, yeah, it's the one without the wheels, it's on bricks.
Yeah. It was just round the corner, wasn't it? Like Sipson Lane.
So I drove there, saw the caravan route bricks, went in, and there they all were having
Yeah.
breakfast, fry-ups.
Yeah, I mean, the
No
diet.
wonder we were mid-table.
The diet back then was special until Glenn come in and obviously started changing things for the better.
Yeah, it
Was he another one to change all the diets? We're hearing about all the managers changing the diet.
Hoddle was massive on doing things properly. He was the first one to bring in a masseur. We had a reflexologist as well.
Oh,
at
that's
the
right.
time.
Yeah, reflexologist.
Yeah, he was much more forward thinking than a lot of the previous.
You always fell
managers, I
asleep
think.
though, didn't you? With the
well, that was the shout that
you'd
people
always
used to
fall
go in
asleep.
there for a kip in the afternoon with the reflexologist. Yeah, I wasn't allowed to do it because I was a youngster at the time. But I always used to see the first team players going in there and coming out. You could tell that they looked like they just slept in a skip. So some of them definitely spent the afternoon in there for the wrong reason.
So.
Current times, Chelsea.
Yeah, current times. Let's talk about Chelsea today because, I mean, I saw you when you were in charge of all the youth teams and you were at that conveyor belt of incredible talent, Jody, that you had. And you've seen quite a lot of them go wherever. Because I remember asking you the question about players and the development, and you just said, look, my job isn't to get them in Chelsea's team, it's to give them the best career possible.
Yeah, and that is always the way. I think no matter what club you're at, when you're trying to develop players and bring through academy players, the reality is that you're not, especially at a club like Chelsea, you're not going to get every player through the system and into your actual first team. But the job, I think, when you're developing and trying to help players be prepared for the men's game is that if they're not good enough or they're not fortunate enough to be given a chance at Chelsea, you want to give them the best opportunity to be able to have a career in the game. So, like I said, the realism side of it is sometimes harsh to hear, but you want to give belief to all the players that they would have an opportunity, and that's all you hope for, is that they do get an opportunity to prove themselves in the Chelsea first team. But like I said, if they quite don't have an opportunity to do that, like so many players have proved since, that they can go away to another club, maybe drop down a level or go sideways maybe to a team in the same league, and then it's not too long before you see clubs like Chelsea trying to buy them back for huge fees. And that's testament to a load of the coaching that goes on in these academies around the country, because like I said, that they've got a job to try and help prepare kids for a career, not just the actual team that they're working for at the time.
Have you ever had any players who then went on to leave the club and then come back, who you said stick with them? Or
yeah, I mean, we've seen loads at Chelsea. I mean, I'll say we can use Mark Gurhey as an example right now, is that I'm pretty sure that in the last 18 months or so, I think Chelsea would have been trying to make strides to try and sign him again. I think there's been previous players. I think Nathan Ake, I know Nathan Ake was one that we were certainly in for when he chose to go to Man City. But that's not a slight on anybody making decisions at Chelsea Football Club. That it happens up and down the country. There's certain times in players' career where sometimes taking a little bit of a setback is the best prep for them to then. I mean, look at Michael Elise. He was at Chelsea as a kid. He went, had to leave, went to Reading. That's probably been the best thing for his career. I mean, you look at him now, he's a world-class player for Bayern Munich. Declan Rice leaves Chelsea, whether you think that was the right decision at the time or not. I think there was a few that thought it was the wrong decision at the time to let him go. But look at what a player we're talking about right now.
Do you think Chelsea, now that Guéhi's contract's up in the summer, we know that he's willing to leave Crystal Palace, they'll be looking to re-sign him?
I think so. I think Chelsea at the moment would be in for any player that is on the right side of maybe the age group where they still may have a little bit of value in the player after a few years.
The trouble is everybody else.
Whether Mark would want to then go back to Chelsea is another question.
But you look at current Liverpool, I mean, I know it's still early days, but like you would think, would he favour now going back to Chelsea instead of going to Liverpool? Because that deal now looks like it's...
Yeah, well, the good thing about Mark, and he's got a fantastic family wrapped around him. He's always been a level-headed lad, bright, intelligent. I think he'll make the best decision for his career without trying to bring in sort of the old sentiment value and stuff like that. Yeah. But I imagine he's got a number of options that will probably grow between now and the end of the season. So I think if Chelsea were in for him, I know that they were looking at him a while ago. If they are in for him, they'll have a fight on their hands, I think, with a few other big clubs.
That happens sometimes when one player's available and he's literally got the choice of the very big biggest clubs in Europe.
Yeah.
And Mark Gay's in that position. It could be Real Madrid, it could be Barcelona, and others.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think both of them would be involved in the conversation.
Yeah.
Do you know something, Jody? Got that look about you this morning.
I just think most people up and down the country know what a good player Mark Gay is, and Liverpool missed out in the
It's
summer.
exactly what Liverpool need right now. Jody, you're staying with us till the end of the show, which is brilliant. We've got lots to talk about, of course. Looking forward to that big game tomorrow at the Bridge. Chelsea taking on Arsenal at 4:30. You're listening to the Weekend Breakfast on TalkSport. We're live from Newbury Race Course. Well, good morning. Good morning. This is the Weekend Sports Breakfast, live for you here on TalkSport. Shebahn Aherne alongside former Villa and Millwall striker Tony Cascarino, live from Newbury Racecourse today for a day of racing action. It's wet for now. It's a great day for the horses. Not only do they get a run around, the chance to win something, but it's good conditions for them as well. Bring a brolly if you are heading to Newbury today. The Gold Cup is at 2:55. It's nice and bright out there for us.
Yeah, it's cheered up, but it's still miserable, even though it's cheered up.
That's the spirit. Some of your headlines this morning. Noddy Madueke says he's not really worried about the criticism he's faced from Arsenal fans over his transfer this summer. And looking ahead to tomorrow's F1 Qatar Grand Prix, the title could be decided this weekend. Here's our report and watching for TalkSport. It's Tom Clayton.
By the end of this weekend, we could have a new Formula One world champion. If McLaren's Lando Norris leaves Qatar with a gap of 26 or more points, he'll be riding off into the sunset with his first championship already in hand with a race to go. It's been a remarkable second half of the season, which we all thought was effectively wrapped up when Oscar Piastri won in the Netherlands to open up a gap of more than 30 points. But after a poor run of form, Piastri sunk like a stone and now sits 24 points behind his teammate and level with the surging Max Verstappen, who's out for his 5th title on the bounce. We'll see 2 races in Qatar this weekend, a sprint on Saturday morning, then a Grand Prix on Sunday afternoon. Now there's a lot of maths at play here, so let me boil it down to this. A win for Lando in the sprint would mean he'd be at least 25 points ahead with 2 races left, and outscoring both Piastri and Verstappen in the Grand Prix on Sunday guarantees him the title. Finish behind one or both of them though, and the title will go down to the finale in Abu Dhabi in just over a week's time.
Lovely jubbly Tom Clayton there. All the updates from the Qatar Grand Prix tomorrow from 4 p.m. here on TalkSport, and then we've got a massive one at 4:30. Chelsea take on Arsenal. Here to look ahead to that one, former Chelsea man Jody Morris is with us. This is a belter tomorrow, isn't it, considering the form that both sides are in as well?
Yeah, huge. Big test for Chelsea, I think, because obviously they'll be high with confidence after their performance against Barcelona. And in fairness, considering, I think, how up and down our form has been this season, the fact that we're kind of only 6 points behind Arsenal is a huge boost, I think, because I think there's still more to come from this Chelsea team. I think that there's been certain games this year, too many games really, where our form in the first half has been totally different. We look like a totally different team in the second half, or individual errors that have led to goals which then change the swing of games, or silly sending offs. The fact that we've had such an up and down season from a consistent aspect, the fact that we're in and around it in second place, I think is a huge boost. And like I said, the performance against Barcelona is great to take confidence into what I think is the best team in Europe at the moment in Arsenal, who would be a lot more solid than Barcelona. But I think these type of games are not really where Chelsea let themselves down. It's usually against the lower teams. I think it's going to be a huge game.
Yeah, I was going to say, Jody, the standout feature of Arsenal, and this is where it's a great test for Chelsea, is that everything you do against Arsenal, you have to earn it. You know, they give you nothing.
Absolutely. And I think, like I said, one of the problems I think we've had this year from Chelsea is the fact that they haven't been controlling games as well as they maybe can in possession. And I think one of the best things that Arsenal's got is that when teams give away silly turnovers, especially when they're in a little bit of a vulnerable state, Arsenal can punish any team quickly with certain counter-attacks because of how solid they are from a defensive aspect. But their attacking threat, the minute they turn the ball over, they got so many different ways in which they can hurt you. And then when they're dominating Arsenal and they're in control, when they're in possession of the ball, if they can't find a goal from open play, we've seen how dangerous they then become from set pieces. Yeah. So for me, at the moment, Arsenal are the most rounded team and probably the best performing team in Europe, and rightly at the top of the Premier League. But like I said, I think Chelsea on their day can give anyone problems. And I think that's why it's such a great matchup on Sunday.
Talk to us about Esteval. Esteval, as he was going by.
Well, I mean, I don't think I've been as excited about talent for a long time. I mean, we was lucky enough to have a certain player in Eden Hazard, who I think was the most talented player I've ever seen in a Chelsea shirt. I see him win games. And those fans that used to go to Stamford Bridge will tell you, talking about people like him and Zola from a talent aspect, that were getting fans on the edge of their seat, coaches dream. All right, Eden Hazard sometimes wouldn't be a dream for people like Jose, who would want him to work a little bit harder. But the talent that they had and possessed, that they could carry a football team on their own. And I do believe that the ceiling for Esteval is Eden Hazard type levels, because for someone so young, I think he offers a little bit of everything. I think he works hard, which is something that you wouldn't necessarily aim at maybe some South Americans that are known for dribbling and having amazing attacking skills. But I think he loves to get his shot off quickly, which is rare for some of these dribblers who want to show skills. And I think he runs without the ball. So the fact that he scored, I think he's got 11 goals and assists already, but he scored in every competition he's played in. He's played in every game of the season so far. For me, he's probably one of the biggest talents in world football at the minute, and we're lucky to have him.
Do you think he'll be in the starting lineup tomorrow? Because Neto comes back in, who's been tremendous for Chelsea as well, and then you've got Garnacho on the left. Because Esteval's being dropped in and out. He's played a lot, but not always from the start.
And I think that's the manager trying to look after him as well.
Yeah.
But I honestly think, because of his performances and how well he has done, I think he's at the point now where you see him performances like that against Barcelona, I think you have to play him.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't surprise me if we brought a number 9 back in to play in the middle, because obviously we had Neto that played up the 9 against Barcelona in the week. It wouldn't surprise me if I see Garnacho drop to the bench and then Neto then goes on the left-hand side, because I think Neto's been one of our best players this season as well. But I'm at the stage now where, and I think most Chelsea fans are, where you kind of have to play him. He's doing too many things in the short spell that he plays, and looking like he's a well-oiled machine already.
Feels like we've forgotten about Cole Palmer, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, but again, the fact that he's available as well is what a huge boost that is. Imagine if you can, you're able to say that you can put him on the bench.
But would you start him tomorrow? Would you let him?
I don't know. I mean, that's where I think having inside knowledge and knowing how far ahead he is in his training and the setbacks that he had if he'd only been out for a couple of weeks, I'd maybe say, he just goes straight back in. But the fact he's been out for so long, he may need to go on the bench.
Okay, we're going to ask you more about Cole Palmer very, very soon, and look ahead to that massive game tomorrow at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea, of course, taking on Arsenal in the Premier League, 4:30 tomorrow. It's going to be a cracker. Right, it's time now to get the latest odds with Coral.
The Coral Daily Download on TalkSport, brought to you by Coral, the home of the free-to-play Golden Rewards Shaker. 18 plus max 1 reward per player per selected Shaker day, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Restrictions and T's and C's apply. GambleAware.org.
Dave Stevens is back with us. It's like Christmas Day for you, isn't it, when you come to the races, isn't it? It's a big, big day for you, Dave.
All this Christmas music on TalkSport is unbelievable. You've really gone for it. I've got to hand it to you. Look, before we look at the racing here, Shebahn, let's go back to that Chelsea-Arsenal game. I mean, they go into the weekend first and second. Obviously, Man City could go back into second if they beat Leeds this afternoon. But this is, for me as a neutral, this is mouth-watering. Arsenal, brilliant. The squad depth this year, Jody, is fantastic, isn't it? I think you've just said it. Probably the best team in Europe. Talk about the options Chelsea have got. Arsenal go on such a high, 6 points clear. And yet, there's something stopping me thinking that they should be quite as short as they are. Cat, they're 6-5 favourites to win at Stamford Bridge, despite their incredible form at the moment. We saw at Sunderland that they're not invincible. They can be got at. Sunderland obviously played brilliantly to take a point. Chelsea are 9-4, but the result, the outcome I'm interested in is the draw at 9-4. It smacks of Arsenal are brilliant. Chelsea on their day could be anyone. Home advantage. I don't know. I mean, Jody, we didn't put you on the spot for a prediction, but
do it.
Do you know what I did? I got asked this yesterday what I thought the result would be, and I actually said a draw. I think a score draw for me. Like for those exact reasons, Steve, that you just said, I think you're talking about a solid team and the team that can score goals, but Chelsea can also give them away.
The wide areas of both teams. Look at Timber, Calafiore have done a fullback's done brilliantly well. Reece James is a terrific right back. You know, when he's fit and he has to miss certain games because of injury sometimes. Cucurella done brilliant. Then we mentioned Neto, Esteval, and then you can look at Arsenal and go Saka. Wide areas. But then the two central midfield position, I think the sole difference between where Arsenal are and Chelsea is the heart of the defence. Because Chelsea have had a number of injuries at centre-half position, you know, whether it's Gabriel Saliba or whoever comes in if Gabriel's not fit, Arsenal are very strong at the heart of the defence, which I don't think Chelsea are as strong as. I think that's the tiny difference between, say tiny, it can mean a lot.
I think almost the scary thing for me is if Arsenal do justify favouritism tomorrow, look, the bookmakers don't get it wrong very often. If they do justify, all of a sudden they are 9 points clear of Chelsea, who I think are arguably their biggest title rivals at the moment. Man City have got to go to Leeds. Face Leeds said, OK, they're odds on to beat them. But if for whatever reason City's still winning, I mean, there's every chance this title race, it was over early last season with Liverpool. I mean, Arsenal are in danger of running away with this, Jody.
Yeah, I mean, it can be a big swing, can't it? Because like you said, if Arsenal get a win and say City don't get too much at Leeds, then you're looking at 9 points at Chelsea if they do beat us. But then again, slash the 3 if we end up getting the win. So I think the Gabriel miss for Arsenal at centre-half is huge. And I think Spurs didn't test the fact that they was missing one of their best players this season at the weekend. I think Chelsea will test it a lot more come tomorrow. So
What has struck me, changing something slightly, we got a hell of a five-a-side team we're putting together here. Cass up front, we've got Paddy Kenny coming later in goal.
See me
We've got Jody and Jack Colback in the midfield.
I'm not a five-a-side player,
We just need a central defender. Anyone got any takers for central defence?
I'll stay put.
Listen, Jody, we're delighted you're hanging around, enjoying the race with us this afternoon. We need to find a few winners. This big race, the Coral Gold Cup, 5-1 the field, as Ed Chamberlain said. He said, Myertown will go well. The favourite, the changing man, Willie Mullins, has got 4. There's loads. Shebahn, I'm afraid, I apologise, I can't let this go. General Madrano, the horse.
Oh, no, someone sent a message as well.
Was not actually in the James Bond film. I think we should, as much as we'd all love to see.
Just testing everyone. Okay. Ben McFarland has sent us a WhatsApp. He says the horse that starred in a James Bond film is Dr. Nay.
That's very good. But General Madrano is 4-1 in the last race. Ed might have put us on a winner there, actually, hopefully. He also mentioned live on ITV the big race at Newcastle, Constitution Hill. To give it some context, this is like a boxer, a heavyweight champion who's been put on the deck a couple of times, but is back to try and win back his crown against the young pretender who is the new lion. Chuck in Amsterdam. That's where the boxing analogy ends, because there's 3 of them in the ring for this one. That is a hell of a race at 2 o'clock, the fighting fifth hurdle, not to be missed.
Which one's Vivana running in? Vivana, that's the one that...
Vivana, wasn't it?
Daryl Jacob was telling us about as well, wasn't he, Vivana? He was saying that's his tip of the day as well to look out for. Dave?
He's kept that one quiet.
I think
actually,
it's
we'll come back with a prize.
2:15 today. Lovely stuff. Dave, thank you very much for that.
Pleasure.
Enjoy today. I hope it brightens up for you, and thank you so much for having us. It's getting lovely. Honestly, it's tropical. That was the look at the latest odds with Coral. 18+ BeGambleAware.org, and please gamble responsibly.
The Coral Daily Download on TalkSport. Brought to you by Coral, the home of the free-to-play Golden Rewards Shaker. 18+ max 1 reward per player per selected Shaker Day. 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Restrictions and T's and C's apply. GambleAware.org.
Don't forget, if you're heading out in a morning jog or if you're going to the gym, the TalkSport Daily podcast is available for you now. Ollie Klink is in the house, joined by former Sunderland left-back Mickey Gray to dissect the 3 promoted side. What's the key to Sunderland's success? Is Leeds manager Daniel Farker truly Premier League standard? And why are Burnley coming up short? You can get it now wherever you get your apps, or you can listen to it on the TalkSport app. TalkSport Daily podcast, you can get that now. Coming up next, we're going to talk England. We'll ask Jody Morris how he's feeling ahead of the 2026 World Cup, and we'll get more on that man, Cole Palmer, next. Good morning.
Hello and welcome to TalkSport Goals. We've been taking you through what should be another busy day of football.
Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology.
How would you get to that conclusion? That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
Good morning. This is the Weekend Sports Breakfast live for you here on TalkSport. My name's Shebahn Aherne and had an absolute clanger earlier on, didn't I, Cass? A clanger.
Go on, what did you do?
It was about the horse in the movie. What an absolute
Now go on, the horse. That wasn't your fault.
Yeah, Ed Chamberlain set me up. Jody Morris, you heard it, didn't it?
I did. Yeah, it was definitely a setup.
Went, the horse from James Bond. Now, wait a minute. There was a horse that's racing here today that was in James Bond. What an absolute daft bit. OK, Jody Morris is with us. Let's discuss England, please, Jody. Shall we look ahead to the World Cup next year? It's all chat. We were talking about Jude Bellingham earlier on. I mean, for you, he's on that plane, no doubt about it.
For me, he would be. I think when you've got a talent of that level who's been producing for numerous amount of years in different leagues, produced already for England in big tournaments, a talent like that I think has to be in your starting lineup. But I'm not the manager of England, and clearly there's like something that's in fairness to Thomas Tuchel, I quite liked the idea of when he left a couple of, I think it was him and Foden out. I quite liked it if that was him laying down the law and letting them know who's in charge. And then going forward, listen, I think you've got a manager that's used to managing top personalities, top players. He's done it at numerous clubs, won trophies. I think we've got to back him now. Whether that means that Jude is maybe going to start or not start, we have to wait and see. But listen, I think the stuff regarding him when he got substituted is always going to be bigger because it's Jude Bellingham. And when you have a talent and a world-class player like that, there's always going to be extra noise in and around him. But I mean, he was upset at coming off. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown his arms up and there wouldn't have been a problem to talk about. But I don't think it's as big as what's being made out.
Players do that. I don't know that many players that are absolutely delighted at coming off in a football match.
Exactly.
You know. Yeah.
What about Cole Palmer then? I mean, are you worried about his place in the plane because of injury that he's had? And would you start him tomorrow against Arsenal because he's available?
Like I said, regarding starting him tomorrow, I'm not sure. I'd have to. I think a fit Cole Palmer gets in any team. So yeah, if he was fit and ready to go and maybe play 90 minutes, then I would start him. But if he's not, which I'd be surprised if he was ready to do 90 minutes, then I'd put him on the bench. But for England, I think if he's fit and he's going to play, the minute he proves his fitness to Chelsea, he'll be in the starting lineup. He carried us for 18 months, his goals and assists. And I think if he's playing for Chelsea and performing at the level he's capable of, he could very well be in contention with a Jude Bellingham for the starting lineup.
Well, there's something about players that make the game look easy. Like he glides across the pitch, he takes the ball under control, never feels too rushed.
Yeah.
You know, they're few and far between in the game, aren't they?
Yeah, spot on. And I think you get that every time you see Cole Palmer play. I think you relax a little bit when he's in possession as far as you don't think he's going to give the ball away and you don't panic in that sense. But you also, on your edge of your seat, thinking, what can he conjure up? Because whether it's a little bit of skill to get a bit of room to get a shot off or whether it's picking a pass, from an attacking aspect, he's so cultured, and you're right, Cass. There's there's few players that can give you that feeling when they're on a football pitch of making the game look easy, but he certainly does it.
Sorry, go on, Cass.
I was going to say Eze as well was a little bit like that. Same thing. You feel like he's quite just comfortable in the game. And that was the big thing I saw when I watched him at Crystal Palace. You used to think, God, the lad don't get phased.
Yeah,
you know.
I agree with you. And that it's like I saw who was it? Les Ferdinand talking about Eze the other day and said, I think he plays with a handbrake on. And I can understand what he's saying, because when you see talent like that, you'd want, from like Cole Palmer, if you see the goals and assists that he produced, I think when you have a talent level that's that high, that's what you'd be asking of an Eze. And you're hoping now that he goes, because he never hit those numbers at Palace. No. Not many people hit Cole Palmer's numbers, but that's my point. When you're that talented, you're in an advanced position on the pitch, and you're cool in front of goal like he shows for his hat-trick. I think that's what you'd want more of from a player like Eze, because I think he's such a hugely talented player that the ceiling for these type of players, when I was talking about Esteval, their ceiling is different to everybody else's. And that's why you've got to hit those numbers that Cole Palmer did if you're a talent like that.
World Cup hopes. I know it's a long time away. Well, not really. It's round the corner. What do you think? Can they win it with Thomas?
Yeah, we're in it. We're in it with whoever the bet. We can win a tournament. We've proved under Gareth Southgate that we can get to finals and we can be one of the favourites. The only problem is getting over the line, and I don't think we're going to have a bigger and better chance. I think the squad and the quality of our team is even better than it's been in those previous tournaments. I think defensively we look more solid now. I didn't think that we was great defensively in the last couple of tournaments, but we have to be one of the favourites.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, America's different from when I did the World Cup in '94. You know, there's a lot more preparation now. There's a lot more safety measures put in for teams being able to recover, and drinks. Having 5 minutes off for getting teams on the side. So I think it's going to be quite a lot different from going back to '94.
Yeah, and you're right. You think back in those days in the '90s, the prep and the science side of football that you could have to back up your preparation just wasn't there. Yeah. Now they've got everything at their disposal.
And Tuchel's well ahead of it, because Camp's a long time ago, it feels like he was already getting ahead of that hydration stuff.
And that's rightly so, starting ahead.
Jody, well, we've got you. If Chelsea beat Arsenal tomorrow, can Chelsea win the league this season?
Yeah, if they beat Arsenal, certainly.
Oh my God. Wow. And the bridge is going to be pumping as well.
I was rocking against Liverpool.
Well, against Liverpool,
and
that
Barcelona,
last minute.
But I was at the bridge against Liverpool, and it was absolutely rocking.
And these are the games.
It felt like something was gathering there, and you could see a team developing.
That would throw a
I just hope that if
works.
Chelsea don't get the result, that they don't be too despondent, because they're in a good position.
Absolutely. Jody Morris, what a pleasure. Thank you. Thanks for being at the races with us. Enjoy today.
Pleasure.
Hope you have a nice little win. Yeah, we're at Newbury Racecourse today for a day of racing action. Don't forget, you've got the Gold Cup at 2:55. We were horsing around earlier on with Ed Chamberlain. Who put that in there? Who put right? Why the long face? Coming up next, you've got the warm up with Max Rushton and Charlie Baker. Lots of love. Bye bye. Have a good day. You're listening to the Weekend Breakfast and TalkSport. We're live from Newbury Racecourse. Well, good morning.